prepare for voice live. Is your bodies ready? Well, you weren't voice live for that.
What was I watching today?
But you are now.
Oh, that's great. What was I watching today where somebody made that joke? I wish I could remember. I also made a great joke about that in Florida. But
someone said that they're a fucking, what did they say? That their
That's
butthole puckered so hard that they threw their back out or something?
Yeah.
I just have to leave 15 seconds before we start talking in the video. That's all I have to do.
That's all you have to. The other one is I was watching Dropout and they were doing Sam Says was the game, and Sam says don't flinch, but before he finished talking he blew an air horn and Lou jumped, but he did it like it was like a little jump, and it's like, I think I'm gonna have to count that one. I think you flinched, and Lou's like, yeah, I flinched, dude. I'm not even gonna front. And the person standing next to him, Izzy standing next to him, she's like, I heard Lou's butthole pucker from here. So he definitely jumped. I was like, God damn.
Sorry, everybody. You don't get context for why that's what we're talking about.
Nope.
But we love you anyway. Okay, so like I just got done explaining to the group, the snails are live. That's right. They've come back from the dead. All of them that has ever been.
Cheerhawk cannot
reach
eat
your
all
new
these.
overlords.
It burst out of his chest like a fucking chest rooster.
So, yeah, if you're on mobile, you'll have to... I gotta actually look at it to do it. You should see a little, green Streamlabs symbol thingy kind of below where the video is. If you press on that, you'll have options for gambling and redeem snails.
Our legal department has advised us that we don't actually call it gambling. However...
Wait, who's our legal department?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm our legal department.
Oh.
Is it Dave? Okay, that works. As long as it's not me.
No, I'm our legal department. I forget whose attorney I am, but I'm somebody's attorney. I know I'm not an actual licensed accredited attorney, and I have not passed the bar exam, but I'm somebody's attorney. Forget who said I was.
Still put Esquire in front of your name if we want to.
Right.
It has a meaning, but it has almost no regulation. But
So what do the snails do, Patrick?
So you should be able to see it down there if you're on mobile. If you're on desktop, just look at the bottom right side of the screen, where the whole deal-a-majig is displayed. So Ellie asks, very good question. So what happens when you do stuff with snails? Get more snails? You can if you succeed at the games, like pick a card or whatever the other one is. However, the redeeming the snails is where you can actually use them for things like Gift of Luck for the party, which will allow them to add a D4 to any D20 roll, or a Curse of Peril, which will allow me some danger die, which are D4s that I can add to enemy rolls. You can also give out a Fortunate Fate, which is basically a reroll of a D20. Only one person can have it at a time, though. So it's a very delicious hot potato. And whenever you actually redeem that one, you'll need to put into the box who you are gifting the reroll to. Because once somebody has one, I'm turning it off until they use it. So yeah. Divine Intervention, I keep saying doesn't matter, and every time I say it, I get more and more worried somebody's going to somehow get to 10,000 snails in an instant. But that is a reward you can redeem to basically make a request of me for an outcome of a scene, is the simple way to put it. And then I will find a way to incorporate it. Obviously, I can't control the PC's actions, but everything other than that I can deal with. But yeah, there should be more of those rewards incoming once we get a feel for this and figure out other stuff to add. Yeah, don't spend them all in one place. And probably don't gamble them all away like Panda did.
Yep.
Or do, I'm not your dad.
Right. Do they tell you what they want on Discord? I don't care what they want.
Yeah, this is your guys' choice to do if you want to do anything with it.
If you're talking about the PCs, no, they have no real say in what you guys do with your snails. I mean, they can ask. They could be like, "Can you guys please give us some luck?" But you don't have to.
It's true.
They can tell you live right now.
We only have agency over ourselves.
Exactly.
I probably won't ask. I cannot deny that it's possible, though.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. They only started accruing, I think, after we were a few months in. Oh, for divine intervention? No. If you actually click on one, you'll see a box where it asks like, what do you want to happen? What do you want? How do you want the scene to turn out, or whatever? You can type in that box, and then I'll be able to see that in the redemption, because you'll be telling me what you want, so that I can try to, do something with it. Just like in Fortunate Fate, you can say, you have to tell me who you want to have the reroll. But the questions are also in the box, so you don't have to remember it. You don't have to memorize that.
What's in the box?
Yeah. So like, if you select one, you'll be able to see it. It'll have like a box with a question in it, and then it'll have a redeem for whatever the cost is. For the Gift of Luck and Curse of Peril, it just says say whatever, because you can just put whatever you want in there, and I'll see it. We should also get a little alert thingy in the stream whenever you redeem one, which is also how I will know to add it.
I was looking for something of zombie snails, like a GIF or an art piece to put in the chat because you had said the snails live, and so I was going to do a Night of the Living Snails joke. But now I've read an entire article about a parasitic worm that infests snails through bird poop.
What, Tilly?
So there's that. That's life. But I was also going to say, it's my turn to do the recap, right?
No, it's mine.
I believe it is.
Oh, it is? Okay.
Oh, it is Molly's. Oh, that's right. She said something earlier. Yeah, let's go face live, since we're just sitting here chit-chatting. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
We are face live.
Are we?
All right.
Yeah.
So I will say this recap will be shortish, because I couldn't watch the entire video. But last time, Into the Storm, we made our way back to the city that I can't remember its name, but we got there, and I got to eat rabbits and a porcupine, and then chicken, just raw chicken, for so many times. Almost got caught by somebody who was pretty sure they saw me eat a raw chicken, but was like, you know what? I don't know if I wanted anything to do with that. Let's keep going. After getting to talk to, oh crap, what was his name?
Miles?
Thank you. Miles, for a little bit, we decided to relax and spend the night at the Markham Manor. Wake up in the morning after wonderful dreams. Sam had a wonderful dream of, what was it, Stormhausen? Is that the correct name?
Storm Hunchin. Yeah, Hunchin. Storm Chicken.
Eli had a wonderful talk with Mr. Alduin. That was wonderful. Nice little character building and such. Lamia did not have a wonderful dream. Not in the slightest. Got to eat wolves. That sucked. So we go on our day, and there's basically a parade that comes back to the Markham Manor with the winners of the tournament, I guess, for lack of a better word. We end up talking with him. Clint goes upstairs, and he was doing something. And I know Eli and Sam eventually end up following him, because that's where we're going to be essentially talking after everyone's gotten a chance to relax. And long story short, the girls decide we're going to go take a bath. However, as Kazmira and Lamia get into the bathroom, door not basically locks in. Kazmira kabedons Lamia, and they're all alone together in the baths. Giggity. Yes, thank you, Ellie. There's my very short and quick recap of last time.
I just doubled my snails. I now have 2.
I was about to say, doubling one is very easy, Panda.
Jesus. Also, if you're watching the actual screen, occasionally a little like symbol thing will appear. If you click it, you'll get some snails.
Yeah, it looks like a treasure chest for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think either a treasure chest or the unnatural one symbol, but I think it's still just a treasure chest, even though I tried to change it.
Oh, one last thing to add. Verbrong came back.
Yeah.
We also got paid a lot of money.
Yeah. Was it 500?
15,000 gold that is on its way to my office currently to pay us all. But then we all also got 500 gold a pop. In the meantime, as some, spending monies.
I only got 1 pop though. So, does it include mops? Like my mom's as well as my pop?
And Kazmira had a cool spear. I do remember that. All right, that's it though. That's
they
all.
had the
I'm
whole
done.
victory
done
procession
personally.
where they came back in and everybody was cheering and super hyped for the team because they won, and that was her prize. It was a cool spear. And they have it was her, Rahala, and then
or not orc.
Half-Recog.
That was just,
Recog.
was she half Recog or full Recog was going to be my question, but she's a half Recog. Okay, I didn't write that down. I think I just wrote Recog. That's what I was like. But yeah, that was the team, and then we had a chat with them as well.
Yeah, we left off. The victorious team was going to go, bathe and relax and clean off, and they took Lamia with them. And the last thing that happened was that as Lamia and Casimir went into the little bathhouse area, Rahala and Sindarin, the half-Recog, shut the door behind them.
Not like an ominous shut the door behind them, like a regular shut the door behind them. People, anyways.
Yes, like a regular.
Not the we're gonna beat you up now.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
we'll see
guess it
about
depends
that.
on how your mind is, right?
Sure. Depends on how paranoid you are, I suppose.
But we'll pick up there while Eli and Sam are headed up to the study to talk to Clint. Lamia, you enter. You can see this pretty nice-sized open bath. It's kind of square-shaped, dug into the ground. You can tell there's like a little bit of steam coming up off of the water. It's definitely a nice temperature. Not really sure how. Probably magic. But you hear the doors shut behind you, and you see that it's just you and Casimir in there.
Snail pulls up, and Lamia will look back at the door. Like, what's going on?
We need to talk. The red eyes, and now you've got fangs.
Oh, yeah, that happened recently.
Well, yeah, because you didn't have both of those the last time I saw you. What changed?
Pretty sure I died.
Okay. So you think you're undead now, or?
Oh, no. I made a choice of something and I got to come back.
Okay. Are you being intentionally vague?
Yes. Panda, shut up.
Well, I guess you don't have to tell me. That's fine. Just know, Rahala and I did talk about it.
That's
hoping
kind
to
of
find a way
shocking.
to help you. Why?
I didn't think Rahala would share that with anybody, honestly, because of the whole kind of connected to Mishani bit.
Well, I mean, Shiny Guard's secrets, sure, but Cat's been out of the bag for a little bit. I've already seen the red eyes. It's not like she came up and asked me, I asked her.
Oh. Okay, then I guess she could have said something then.
Eventually, yeah. But the point is, we really want to help you. And I mean, she's doing a lot to try to figure out how. I'm not honestly sure.
Yeah. I have a lot of people trying to offer help. But unfortunately, the kind of help that might be necessary. Let me just say this. If I ever come to you and I'm 100% not me, just kill me.
I like you, Lamia, but not enough to throw my life away.
Oh, well, yeah.
Myself.
If you think you can't beat me, then yeah, run away and go on, but...
Well, I wouldn't phrase it like that, but... The point is, we wanted to not get to that point. I mean, being cagey about it, I don't know how you're so sure that the only way out is death. But maybe entertain the idea that there is a way out? Aside from that?
It's kind of hard to right now.
Why?
I'm eating raw meat. Raw foods are the only thing that feed me right now. And I have terrible urges sometimes. It just really sucks, you know?
Of course it sucks, but... I mean, you've fought out of situations that sucked before, right?
Fighting out of situations is different than fighting myself.
Is it?
Absolutely.
I don't know if it's that different. Here's the similarity I want to point out to you. If you give up, you definitely lose. Whether it's swords or a matter of wills, evil magics, as soon as you give in and consign yourself to something else completely, as soon as you stop fighting, then it's really over.
I'm not fighting. I just have in the back of my mind and the final solution if it has to come to be.
Okay, fine. Let's say I accept that. But if just looking at you, even your demeanor, it just seems like maybe you're fighting back, but with a handicap, maybe one hand tied behind your back. It seems like part of you is just ready for it to be over. And I get that. I understand. But I really hope that changes. I hate doing this whole sappy thing, and I'm not a heart-to-heart kind of person. Believe it or not, I don't actually have a ton of friends. I don't have a ton of people I've connected with who I feel like would really have my back if I needed them. And you're one of them, even when I've been a dick to you. I think the world's a better place with you in it. Okay?
Okay.
I don't know. Just don't give up, okay?
sure. I'm not doing anything different than I have been.
All right. They needed to talk about something too, so.
Oh, okay. So this wasn't like a sudden like, all right, we're gonna have to fight to see who would have been the real champion or something dumb like that. That's what I thought was gonna happen for a second.
She pokes you with the spear.
Ah!
It's got the guard on it still, but okay, I
She
win.
blows her out of the room.
Anyway.
All the wolf energy.
But yeah, I guess we can get started. They'll come in whenever they're ready.
What if is the lock on the inside or the outside?
It's not locked, it's just closed.
Oh. Lami will knock on the door to signify, hey, the bathroom's open.
Yeah, just a second. We're just finishing a conversation.
And then she goes dive into the pool.
It's 2 feet
It's
deep.
not particularly deep, but you know. So you
Roll
like
for your
dive
head
and you
injury?
get like that close to the bottom. Like, oh shit! Okay, that was a bad idea, but you come up and you're okay. It's very warm, very nice water. You can tell it's scented with probably some kind of scented oils or something else like that. It smells really nice, very floral. But eventually, the other two come in. Y'all, get undressed, whatever, and start having your bathing routine. They seem to be very relaxed when they finally get in. We'll come back to you if you decide there's any like RP you want to have with that group of people or anything.
Yeah.
While you guys are relaxing. But for now, we jump back over. And Eli, Sam. So you guys head into the study. That Clint said he would meet you in there pretty soon once he got done doing what he's doing. And if you touch something, just be careful.
My inner demon's coming out. I'm gonna lick it.
Oh my gosh.
You both get in there. You see the same really nice mahogany desk and the bookshelves and all the little trinkets and things all around. You can see that a few things have been put away. Or like Eli, you can tell some stuff's been put away. There's like a little chest behind the desk and some other spots. Excuse me. There is a part of the desk seems to have been cleared off, and you see a doily with like a tea set on it, sitting there, and you can see some steam sort of coming up out of the teapot. A few cups there. Seems like that was left for you, probably by Rugeki. But you guys have, who knows, maybe a few minutes, maybe several minutes to yourselves before Clint's gonna come in. Is there anything you guys do or talk about, or you just kind of drink some tea and wait?
I mean, that's my default, is drink some tea and wait patiently. I will obviously cast around and just kind of look at everything, that just seeing, not that anything's different, but every time I've come in here, there's so much stuff I can't possibly examine it at all. So I'm just doing that where I'm trying to find new things that I didn't look at last time.
Okay. We'll come back to that. Sam, anything for you?
Are there any hats in this area?
Are there any hats?
Uh-huh.
Tell me evens or odds, and then roll whatever die.
I want it to be this.
Die. Yes.
I want it to be odds. So 1. Any standard die?
Yes.
Boo. It's the not fun one.
Unfortunately, you don't see any hats lying around.
The bickering couple one.
You do see a hat rack. It's just there's nothing on it right now.
Ooh. Look at him. Ooh.
Not all
Yeah,
hats.
but
Gosh.
This is just another thing. If there's no hats, are there any canes?
Sure. We'll say there are a few different styles of cane, like leaning up against one of the corners near where the hat rack is.
I want to see if any of them contain a hidden compartment either for booze or a sword.
So
Those are two things.
The canes.
Yeah.
All right, give me a perception check.
I'm just being nosy. Also, because I'm in a room alone. Alone.
I will slap you,
You're in a
sir.
room with your boss. You're not allowed to call your boss.
Yeah. Perception?
Yes, please.
Now, what are these canes made of? Are they perhaps wood that may have been
Bruh.
come from trees?
I will
yes,
set this
some
cane
of
on
them are
fire in
indeed made
front of
of
your
wood.
face. Anyway.
Okay.
There's not enough canes to make a forest, unfortunately.
Does the +2 count for alertness on this?
Alertness counts on all.
Okay.
So make sure you add that as a flat bonus.
Okay. I need to do that after this one. Ugh.
I mean, that's still really good.
It hovered on that 17 level, which would have been significantly better.
True.
I'll go
Well,
through it on there now.
So you start checking through some of the canes. There's one that's got like what you're pretty sure is like an eagle's head at the top of it, and one that's got looks like it's made of antler on one section of it, and it's kind of grafted in with some kind of wood. There's like maybe 8 or 9 of them sitting over there. Pretty much all of them are of different styles. Some have some jewels in them. Some are very, very like ostentatious and like lavish looking. A few you could tell have been actually used as like walking sticks and such, and you've seen that Clint occasionally uses one. You don't see the one that you've normally seen him with in that group. He's probably got it on him. But yeah, you do find one that has a you're pretty sure it's just like a rhinestone kind of at the very top, like the very tip of it. Some kind of golden like fittings at the very top, and then a design that sort of runs down it that looks a little like almost like rain. And as you're sort of examining it, you jostle a few times and just like jiggle the top of it. Long blade comes out.
Eli! Yeah!
Yeah, it's a cane sword. They exist. I don't understand what's going on here, Sam.
Huh?
So as you're
I mean, if
holding
I
it,
had to
you
carry
kind of
around a
extend
beaten stick.
it.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
As you're like talking and like you looking over to Eli, you probably notice as he's paying attention to you, the blade begins to glow faintly blue, and you see this like faint wafting of like bluish flames start to come off the blade of it.
Sam, you might want to be a bit more careful. What? Put that up. Or what's that? You might catch on fire.
You notice it as soon as you look down. You're like,
Yeah.
oh, and yeah, it doesn't seem like it's growing. It just kind of like it blossoms up off of it and just sort of sustains.
It's a good thing it wasn't like an exploding trap or something instead of a sword.
That'd be dangerous to keep in your office.
You would think.
Do you keep that stuff in your office?
You would think.
Your office is going to explode when we get back. I'm nosy.
That is not a yes or a no.
I'll tell you what I told my. I'll tell you what I, in character, told my mother in real life in high school. Look, I don't want to lie to you, and then I will turn and walk away. No, I will not turn and walk away. I'm sitting in a chair.
Dude, okay.
But
Yeah. You check some of the other ones. You find one more that like you pull open. It doesn't have a sword in it. It kind of like a cork sound comes out because it's just like this part that like inserts down into it to hold it together, and there's just an empty compartment in there with nothing in it.
Son.
But
I was just being nosy, and also it's fun to learn things. We're learning.
it's 22. Yeah, you don't find anything else with a 22.
Alrighty.
I should have asked because I did technically give you guys one luck die, and myself 1 danger die to test them. But I will ask.
We all have this luck die.
So
It's in everybody's
same
pocket, but
pool.
nobody's pocket at the same time.
Listen, we have enough things like that. I don't need any more of those, sir.
It sounds like Ellie is trying to save up for a divine intervention, so you're probably not getting any luck from her. But anyone else can do that. All of you, basically anybody who's watched
Grease is
the
so
channel
sorry.
for over an hour in the past, like, fucking 8 months or so, has snails. But anyway.
Do you or a loved one have snails? You can redeem those snails at Unnatural Ones every Tuesday, 7 o'clock. So.
But you guys
This is
hang around,
not-
drink tea, be nosy.
Oh yeah,
Um,
this is not us telling you to send us pictures of live snails. We're
all.
not going to give you anything for that. You can do that still, but we're not going to give
In
you
our
anything
Discord.
for it. Yeah, please share them in our Discord.
oh, never. Anyway. So, you guys,
Oh,
you guys wait about,
Ellie redeemed Gift of Luck.
I am aware. I've already attributed it.
Oh.
So, you guys wait about 30 minutes or so, and then finally, Clint comes in, just door opens, and he just, who are these intruders in here? I'm just kidding. Y'all enjoy the tea. I had Rugeki whip some up. It's, picked it up on the way out of town.
I don't think I've ever had whipped tea.
Me neither.
Some.
There's a whip
you
around
don't
here
whip
somewhere,
the tea. You whip the cream you add to the tea. You get heavy cream and you whip it, and then you pour it over like a spoon into the tea so it floats on the top.
Those stories like I'm not one of them cream in my tea sort of folks, but if you are, then I'll make sure it's added and on the tray next time.
I can't say I've ever had that. I've prepared it before, but I can't say I've ever had it.
It's I'd rather have cream if I'm having coffee instead. But anyhow,
Alsani tea is pretty strong, so like
that it is.
you cream it down a bit.
Especially, I mean, I don't know if you've ever been over there to the Caliphate. If you head into the north, you get some more complex blends up there. Complex, a little more subtle. In the southern and central regions, man, it's like they're trying to infuse you with tea, like they're trying to steep your insides. Tea is strong as hell, but it's pretty good, I gotta say.
Thursday campaign company starts sneezing a lot for some reason.
Yeah, no. I
Is there
can't
anything
say
crawling
that
on the
I've
ceiling looking
been
for
to the
tea?
Caliphate, but I have certainly prepared my fair share of Caliph tea from the south, and I can tell you that if you don't get the sealed containers, you can smell it over the entirety of your house, no matter how big it is.
Not lying. Sometimes that's an okay thing, and other times, some of those blends, I'm like, I don't know what kind of herbs, or who decided you should drink them. I don't even know. But no, this one's from some native flowers and berries and such. I thought it was nice. Anyhow,
I know you can make a dandelion tea. That's something my cousin did quite often. She would go pick dandelions and dry them and pick off the greens. I believe it's the green parts, not the fuzzy parts or the yellow parts, depending on when you get the dandelion.
yes, sir, you are correct. I haven't actually had any dandelion tea in some time. It was never my favorite, but nostalgia works wonders. That was a childhood thing for me. And I see you've been perusing the wares a bit. None of them are for sale, unfortunately. But,
I don't know. Found a sword that or a cane that glows, and another one that had nothing in it. I hope it had nothing in it. Or you got like a ghost running around now if it was trapped in that cane.
Oh, I wouldn't worry. That's probably the friendliest poltergeist I ever met.
Nah.
He just smiles.
You're pulling a leg, right? Yeah.
I am. There's no such thing as a friendly poltergeist.
Yeah,
At least
Sam
not
starts
that
to
I
get
found.
1,000 yards stare.
Yeah.
Ghost.
At least not that I've found. They're creatures of rage. So you found the blade and you found the compartment and nothing else?
No? Was there one that had a bunch of booze in it? Because that's what I thought would be in it. But
Well, why would I keep booze in a cane?
you're going on an establishment that does not allow booze, such as churches.
Such as. Thankfully, most of our churches don't particularly mind. But there's better ways to hide it. There is one other hidden compartment in one of those. But thankfully, you didn't find it.
Oh. Does it explode? He warned me that it might explode, but I can't.
Only if it's loaded, which it is not, because safety first. Why don't y'all have a seat, though? I think we have some other things to catch up on, yeah?
I have been seated this entire time. I just want to point that out. just because he's obviously been looking around and goofing off. I have just been seated the whole time. Like,
well, that was a southern y'all, so it could have been both of you or one of you.
I'm just saying. I was doing that where you just kind of sit there with your legs crossed, watching somebody make an ass out of themselves, just sipping tea. Like, something's gonna happen.
Watching Sam upturn the empty cane over his tongue.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys...
That's just a glowing sword, Panda.
He says, so you gave me the quick notes on that whole village situation. Was there any more that I should know?
I mean... so we had originally thought the bandits were hired by Hathma Drake. Turns out they were being controlled, or at least the leader was Isla. She had the Shard of Obedience thing in her arm, right? So we found that out. Not all of them were defeated. Obviously, she left with some people, but I think she's kind of now on a bit of a warpath. But also her second in command escaped.
He holds up a finger. You see him pull like a small, spirally stone. It's kind of light blue in color. He kind of taps it once, and there's a little bit of glow that pulses inside of it. He holds it up over his head and starts to orbit and goes, "Go on ahead."
Okay.
Just so I can keep track of this conversation.
Got it. So sorry. I can just see Panda doing the watching it go around in circles. He slinked off and escaped after we had attacked their camp. We have no idea where he went, if he's going to link back up with Isla, or if he could be a problem in the future. He seemed pretty miffed that we beat him twice, and definitely is one of those people we're gonna have to watch out for. I say we. Right. The we is very collective in that we beat him the first time because Sam shot him with an arrow in the face, and then we beat him the second time, and that we had a bunch of cresting suns help us because we were quite busy getting our butts kicked.
He did set me on fire with a big column of fire in retaliation of the base shooting, but
we just weren't able to take him out. We got some ADAGs to help us through. That was inexperience.
Impressive. That is impressive.
I don't want to deal with him again.
I'd prefer not to as well.
I'd like to finish this armor, but I also don't want to ever see one of them again. They're a monstrosity is not calling on them enough. An affront to nature.
If you're serious about finishing that armor, I was able to rub elbows a bit with a group of hunters that assist in people taking those things down. So
it's going to be a big group. We saw 2 of them charge through 20 bandits easy.
It's 6 men. Well, 6 folks. Not all men. Hard folks, all of them, though.
I imagine.
I guess if you're specialized in taking down those sorts of beasts.
Yeah, and it's a lot different, I guess,
yeah.
if you're prepared for it and looking for them instead of having 2 of them just show up and attack you when you're just kind of standing around.
Preparation will save your life. Absolutely. But so will adaptation. But my apologies. Continue.
So with that, we know that shard we found, there's more, and we're going to have to find maybe not all of the others. We're going to find several other ones, and I have the shard, obviously, so I'm going to pull it out of my pocket and just kind of like set it on the table. Like, it's still in that vial, and I'm like, so we're looking for where we can find more of these. They're fragments of an eye, and I'll be honest, I don't fully understand it. A lot of this was just kind of thrown at me, like, information-wise, and I feel like I just don't have the whole picture, obviously. But we were wondering if you knew a way to either try and like locate these, or where things like this could be, with all of your experience with the Federa Maribar, that you might know. So it's just one of those things that we need to just get these out of circulation, so to speak. I'd really like them to not be around, because
Fragment
this
of an eye.
shard of obedience is bad. Yeah, so it's
EYE. Yeah.
what other kind of
He's just looking at it in the.
I mean,
eye?
I think there's the letter, but
Right. I guess, okay. Sure. Anyways, so the eye got like broken into pieces or something, and we're pretty sure Tressa used this to control Isla, from what we could tell. And we know that there's like 4 other ones of these. It's Elastig, I think. It's some being with 7 eyes. I don't know any of this stuff. Again, it was just all just thrown at me. And these are all parts of one of the eyes.
Elastig. Okay.
Yeah. I did the knowledge trick where I made the knowledge disappear from my head, and then when the knowledge came back, it came back with a whole bunch extra stuff that I didn't know. So that's why it's very fragmenty. It just was literally like thrown into my head. It was not a pleasant experience. That's why if I seem a little like I've got knowledge I didn't have before, I guess, but I didn't learn it. It was just put in my head.
Imparted. Yeah.
Right.
Well, you've experienced a very rare occurrence, it sounds like, because I've never heard of anything like that happening. But Elastig, the only thing I've heard about is that was one of the there was a triune type thing, a triad of consciousnesses. Espera is one of them. Some pre-desolate type stuff. Espera was one of them. There was another, and if I'm not mistaken, some believe the rebel was yet another one. That third one, Elastig, was... Well, there's not a whole lot known. They never, as far as anyone knows, they never really interacted with Hayethe or anything like that. And they weren't their own being until the end of the Desolate Age. But, I mean, I suppose they could have had some weird eyes or something. Espera, I mean, they've got some call all the little dots and things around its design, the jeweled eyes of Espera. So maybe its sibling had something similar. Or sibling really isn't accurate term. It's more of a conglomerate ego. I imagine they all share some bits of similarity.
Right. Well, okay. So, we were thinking we need to find 4 of these. We think we know where, or we know for a fact where one more is. Because we apparently came across it already. So it's back at my office. We don't know where 3 other ones that we're looking for are. And the only information we really got from this is that the strange occurrences that happen around these things are similar to the stuff that happens around the stone temples when they get opened or when people happen in there. And I don't know where those are located or if any of the ones that have been researched or have been excavated or anything like that have these still inside. And so if you have any experience with that and could maybe tell us which ones to steer clear of or ones that haven't been looked into that we could go snoop about in and hopefully find these things.
That raises many questions, to be honest with you. All right. I mean, right at this moment, I'm privy to a little bit of the goings on in the circles of white thrush and some people who report those types of problems. If I'm not mistaken, in the wilds north of Saigon, in fact, northwest more likely, there has been some kind of activity reported that I don't know if it's been investigated yet, but something's going to be on the thrush's radar. And that was fairly recent, just a couple of months ago, and sometimes it can take them a while to get moving. Down at their Birdsag farm, I'm sure you know that some of that farmland was claimed because of a stone temple in the area.
Yeah, I was kind of there when that happened.
So you was the one who found it?
No, some kids found it. I went in and got some kids out.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, from what I've heard about that one down there, they haven't been able to explore it yet. They have their ways, some very specific training and whatnot on how to safely break some magical seals and the like that tend to be on these temples. But last I heard, they couldn't quite get into that one. So, unless that's changed, that one's been a while, less than a year, but that one's been a while. So unless that's changed, that's something you can look into. Those are only 2 really on my radar right now, but I'll tell you, I can put feelers out and ask around, call in a few favors, and see what I can find out. Now, I was planning on purchasing this neat little doohickey eye I saw back there at the tower. That's what I used to contact you. I had to borrow it. It's a stone. It's got the sending spell in it a few times a day. So I've got one of those on order for myself. So once I get it, I can reach out to you a lot faster than a letter's going to move.
Excellent. Well, too, if you have post, we did meet an excellent letter runner in town, actually, when I had to send some letters so we could get it out loud.
You're talking about Rhea. Yeah. Rhea's good people, but she's not quite as fast as Magic, but she's the next
of
best
course
thing,
not.
I'd say.
But, yeah.
yeah. Her and her whole family is crazy as hell about. they keep letters moving across the side of the country. I say, it's pretty remarkable. Cardiovascular strength, man. That's
I've never been much of a runner, so
I was for a time, but never like that.
Well, there's one other thing that is kind of more of a personal request, but that maybe that I don't need right at this moment, but maybe you can help me out with the future. Is I might have to get back into Gurga, and not through a normal method of immigration. So I was wondering if you had any connections, because the last time I had to cross that border, the Federa Modiba helped me.
Right. Well, unofficially, I'm familiar with the practice. The thing is, some aspects of what's going on in the border are beginning to escalate. So it's going to be a little tougher. Easiest way is going to be by ship.
Okay.
Now, I do still own the Rain Maiden. She's lent out at the moment, and last I heard, nobody had her sunk, because I'd be right pissed. Excuse my language. But if I recall correctly, she's due to hit port on the west side of Setsegia here in the next couple of months. I could have the ship retained here for a while. We'd have to, get sort of a crew together who's willing to go on over there with Setsi citizens and all that sort of thing. But suffice to say, I could make that happen.
Okay, great. Yeah, we still got to obviously work on finding these eye shards while we're here now, but Tresadorat did let slip a bit of information about some happenings on in my old home in Gurga that I need to address.
Alright, I see. Well, I'll see what I can find about these occurrences, if anybody's seen any weird crystal shards around, making people crazy. Send that your way, and I mean, it wouldn't take too much doing for me to delegate out the task of getting you an invoice for a trip to Gurga.
Excellent. Yeah, anything you do to help, like I said, doesn't have to be right away, obviously, and you said the ship's a couple months out, so maybe when it gets back, we'll be ready.
I'll try to get the invoice to you quickly so you know how much it's going to cost and all that, because it's not a matter of me being stingy with money or nothing like that, but the crew's going to want to be paid.
Right.
I can get them together for you. It's just you'll be responsible for footing the bill of the actual work.
It's my expedition. I should have to pay for it.
But I don't mind that at all.
Yeah, I think, Sam, unless you had something else you wanted to bring up about this, I think that was all the real pertinent things we had to work on. Unless you have any questions for us, Clint.
Well, honestly, just curious what y'all are up to next. Oh, to add, though, about strange occurrences, I did mention before, but just to reiterate, what happened out there in the test of the star that sort of got everything called off, as it were, is certainly a strange occurrence. Now, I think that's going to be getting a lot of the attention of the White Thrush right now, so...
Well, maybe that'll be just the diversion we need to slip past them to get into those stone temples without bothering people.
Could, potentially. If you're back in Saigon and you want to talk to somebody with ties to the Federo, then there's an older gentleman always playing silvers. And I think you've met him.
I was about to say, I'm pretty sure we've met him. I was about to scroll all the way back up to the top of my notes.
I believe we helped out his. I'm doing his voice. I think we helped out his daughter. She was in a predicament.
Helped.
I mean, yeah.
You legitimately did by a lot. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's. I know the fella, and he was once one of the same guild. So, moved on. He had some other stuff to do, and such as taking care of his daughter. And he wanted to settle in. But he knows a thing or two, and he's still got some friends in the organization, so feel free to reach out to him. Tell him I sent you if you'd like.
I will.
I don't have any questions for y'all except just it sounds like you're in pretty deep. Anything else I can do to help?
I mean, you've given us a lot of money, which is a big help already. Sometimes money is the solution to problems you haven't had yet.
Certainly can be. Oh, on the matter of your Avarok friend, Vabron.
Right.
There was the people that we was gonna hire to get him on all the way where he was trying to go, ended up being the ones went missing.
That's unfortunate.
Oh.
It was part of the contest. They was gonna come back, and it's just sort of we just had an arrangement, you know. It was they wanted some work afterwards. They just wanted to stay busy and that sort of thing. And they were already wanting to go west, but that fell through. And with all the other goings on, I wasn't really sure. I wasn't feeling too certain about hiring folks out there just at that moment.
Probably not.
And with especially with our dealings with the Dorat is a complex matter. Not something I can just call off on a whim, unfortunately.
Right.
Even though I think I have good reason to trust what you say. Just I start making obvious moves, then they might make some more covert ones.
Yeah. That's true.
But I did have the chance to confront them about their son without letting too much loose. Just that he might be having his hands in some things he shouldn't. So, as it stands, the engagement, the wedding, all that stuff is quite on hold for the moment.
Understandable. Did we tell him about Vladimir? I don't remember.
Good question.
I
Okay.
believe so.
I was wondering if we talked to him about the
No.
bird guy. I remember.
No,
We didn't
I'm keeping the bird guy under my hat, so to speak. Since you were looking
don't wear
for
hats, though.
I decided to use that. I have a hat.
We
I just
didn't-
don't wear it.
we didn't even find out about Vladimir until we got there to find
Right.
Clover.
Yeah,
So-
he hadn't talked about it yet.
So I will fill him in a bit on that. Just saying. So we also ran across this nascent Vladimir, bad stuff. And the Dorats are intrinsically linked with him. We are sure that Tressa is a worshipper or a descendant or something. I'm not entirely sure how she phrased it, but a lot of this nasty bit that's going around and some of the business she's been having that might interfere with the things you're doing, trying to get relics, trying to get specific mines, those things has to do with Vladimir and attempting to gain the power of for this nascent. We're not totally sure where her motivation really is because we're going off what she told us, and I trust that woman about as much as I trust a snake not to bite me. So, you know.
You found a whole entire nascent in the mine.
Yeah, he was a big jerk. Just a real jerk.
And he's still in there.
As far as I know, unfortunately,
He's
is.
like a statue. So
We tried to destroy
Oh,
his
he's a statue. Okay.
power base
Okay,
and
that-
worshiper things, but he's still around. Yeah, he's not mobile at least, but he's still
Yeah.
there. He had dancing skeletons and a whole bunch of weird stuff we had to deal with. They were trying to kiss people. It was not friendly.
and a drown a city.
I was not going to mention that, but okay. It was less than fun.
Now, I heard brief mention before that y'all have encountered another statue of a nascent back in on the east somewhere.
We
Don't believe
did,
you said
yes.
exactly, which is all right.
That was
There's
also
two now.
not friendly. But it didn't at least send dancing skeletons after us.
Yeah.
Boy, that does ring a bit of a bell, though.
We also met this bloke named, he said his name was Shaluvi. He helped us out with the nascent problem. And I think we saw him again at the tower. I can't be sure, but
Talking about that Tertian boy chasing the moon girl or whatever.
yeah, from the
I
old
read
stories.
the stories so long ago.
That's why I knew it wasn't him when he said that was his name, but that's the name he chose to give us. There's cognomen, so to
Oh
speak.
my goodness. Well,
Moniker? Is that the same thing?
Sure, Monica, cognomen.
Monica.
What's the other one that I really like to use? I can't remember.
Alias?
The pen name.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. No,
there's another one that I really like, but I don't remember what it
yeah,
is.
no one's something. But that's pretty great. But depending on exactly why he's referencing those stories. I don't know that I've met anybody going by that name around here.
Pseudonym, but or sobriquet was actually what I wanted, but sobriquet is fun to say. So there you go. Or nom de guerre. Sorry. Go ahead. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, he was a shamany mystical. He turned into a bear, right? He turned into a bear.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. He's getting his powers from the spirits and things of the land rather than from like devotion to a deity or something. Okay.
Some kind of druidic powers. We're not
Tend to
entirely
call
sure. I didn't see it very long, and I don't know everything about what he did because we were busy. But
So he was down there too.
he was. So I had somehow gotten stuck with the nascent Vladimir. It had some things, and he shifted its power out of me. I wasn't in my right mind at the time, so I'm not entirely sure about the goings on because I was dealing with having something in my head a bit, but it was strange.
So it's two statues with quite a bit of power in their respective areas. All right. I remember some of my studies. That's not the only place those types of things have been discovered.
Right.
Because there were a lot of nascents. Most of their names are lost somewhere in the Hollow Archive by now. Many more would be if it wasn't for, what the hell was that man's name? They called him Smooth Hand. He was a sculptor. Well, he made statues. Intricate ones. He was a master at the craft. Back in the days of the Stark and Night, as new deities were rising into the heavens, he sought to immortalize those with the ambitions to be more. Many of the greatest statues of the deities that exist today, of Rebirth, of the Paragon, Rebel, all of them, the most sought after, the most powerful, the most legendary of all of them, he made. But he also made these while these beings were still here on Hayethe, before their ascension. So there were many statues created of creatures that didn't quite make it.
Right. Well, now we know who to blame for the statues we keep running into.
Right. It could have only been him or some unwritten disciple of his. I don't know if the man had descendants, or even if it was a man. We say he, but...
Right.
would be wrong there?
Well, that's a question I might have to ask someone else for another time.
Does make me wonder. But you're correct. There's not much use chasing that thread right now. But I'll get you the information, what information I can. I suspect Valbrong is gonna either stay here, go on with y'all. I'm not quite sure. It's really up to him. He's welcome.
I'll definitely have a chat with him about it, see what he wants to do, or if we can assist him in any other ways.
Well, just let him know. It's the same thing I already told him, but maybe it helps coming from you. If he wants to stay around here, we'll still try to find him a way off onto the northwest. That I don't mind at all.
All right. Well, I'm sure he'll appreciate that. I appreciate you trying to help him. I know it may seem silly, but it's good. It's good people, and he very helpful for me. So he didn't crush my head when he could have too, which was nice.
Always, that's always a favor well repaid. All right then. Well, how long y'all staying here at the manor? You gonna be heading out soon, or?
We don't know, but at least a day, I think, just to recalibrate again and get ourselves kind of back to a little bit close to normal after all that we went through. But we'll probably be shoving off pretty quick.
Just don't leave without saying bye.
We wouldn't dream of it.
All right then. Sorry, Panda, did you have anything else? Okay.
No.
I'm assuming you guys.
All right, I'm going to sprint down the hall and go to the bathroom, both in real life and in the game.
I guess he had to pee. It's a nice hallway. Yeah.
But we'll cut back over. Molly, did Lamia have any other RP or anything she wanted to do?
Not really. Just small girl talk and etc. Though I will say that Lamia pretty much puts herself as close to the pool as possible so that only her head can be visible.
I will say you find, strangely, that the floor of this bath is pretty uniform, so it doesn't get deeper as you go towards the center or whatever. It's one big flat plane, but you can easily dunk all the way down to chin.
Yeah.
Most of them are like that if they're not actively doing something.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So you spend some time in there, you bond a little bit, you just chit chat, talk, and they tell you about some of the different fights that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
And you basically get to hear a lot of just war stories. You find that Casimir, while she was kind of excitable when she got back, has settled back into her somewhat reserved isn't the right way to put it, but her kind of too cool attitude where she's not being super excitable. She's just sort of telling facts and whatever and downplaying stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Sindarin is also.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Is this from RuneScape? This song?
No.
No?
But it does kind of sound like it, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds like the Desert Game. Sorry, continue.
Yeah.
I was jamming. I was like, okay.
And thank you for lurking, JB.
I don't believe I'm lurking. That was almost words.
But, yes, Sindarin is kind of the same attitude as before, where she's just very relaxed and is, explaining. She'll tell stories about getting her wrist broken in the middle of a fight and then punching a dude with that same hand as if it's just the same. It's no big deal. And but it's mostly Rahala that is being the hype man it's just like, no, you crazy. Most people would have passed out doing that. Are you insane? If I broke my wrist, I would have been on the ground crying. And you hit a man with it. And by the way, she didn't punch him once. She punched him 3 times, and he was wearing armor. And she's just like, yeah, sure, okay, either way, whatever, I punched him. But that's the kind of talk you're kind of sitting in the middle of. But eventually, probably way longer than it takes you guys to, like, get clean, you're finally done, and everybody gets out to, like, dry off, and they're like, I'm all pruny. But,
yeah.
They stayed in there too long. But they get dried off. They go kind of move out, and you can see that they've got rooms in the manor as well. Rooms. Rahal already had a room. Sindarin now has a room, and Casimira lives here, so she definitely has a room. But
no, she gets a guest room just for tonight.
But they do kind of split off to their respective areas of the manor. Sindarin is just like, I'm going to sleep. I'm tired. I know it's early, but
hey, if you're tired, you're tired.
And then, Rahal is just gonna go, like, kind of put the rest of her stuff away or whatever, or actually get packed, since she's not sure if we're leaving or not. What the fuck? Why does it do that? I don't even have any alerts or anything going. I don't know why it always does this.
It's 8:30. It's time for the
right?
But it's not the same time every time either. It'd be different if it was always at 8:30, but it's not.
It isn't. I was gonna say maybe it's an old alarm from when we were like 9 to.
But it used to go off during that stream too.
Maybe it's a certain.
I don't think it went off as much as it has been going off.
It was less, but it definitely happened. Okay,
always happened. I shouldn't say always, but it routinely occurred.
Anyway, Lamia is going to try and find everybody. JB wants us to hydrate. I cannot right now. My drink is far away from me.
I ran out of your
tea,
so I can't drink if you want to. You
gotta go get it. Somebody redeem points. You gotta go get it, Molly.
Fine, give me a minute.
Yeah. The ASMR time. That was some delicious coffee. Oh boy. I'm gonna drink some more.
I saw a alcoholic beverage that you would like, Panda. It's Spanish coffee.
Ooh.
It's got coffee liqueur in it, but also at one point it's lit on fire.
Did I tell you about the coffee liqueur I'm making? Or
yes,
I have?
You did. You did indeed tell me that with the espresso. Yes, you did tell me that.
Hey, she's back.
There you go, hydrating.
Welcome in.
We don't have to fill time with how Panda's gonna
no,
murder himself with espresso.
Yeah, espresso vodka, basically. Espresso vodka.
But yes, thank you for disrupting stream, JB.
Yeah.
Okay, now you can continue, Giselle.
Lamia is going to try and find the place that we intend to meet to actually talk about what the hell happened. Because she knows that was the plan. She doesn't know what they were talking about, so...
I'm assuming that would be your rooms, or at least that's where you probably initially meet up.
Probably?
So we'll say that's where you guys finally rendezvous.
Okay.
Neat.
Yeah, sorry.
I wish I could breathe. Sorry.
What do you think he was inferring? Like, was it a magic thing that had a safety on it, or?
Well, he said it wasn't loaded, so whatever it was, it requires something to go off.
So like a bomb, a chain bomb. That sounds dangerous.
It seems like a one-use only item.
Oh, did you guys already tell about what happened already?
Oh yeah, we went and chatted with Glenn
more or
up at his,
less.
study. We gave him the lowdown. We tactically left out a few things, like dealings with Mashani's agents specifically, but we filled him in on the rest.
Oh, okay. Are we leaving today then, or?
Nah, we'll have another night for sure. Get a good
Yeah.
rest. If we're gonna leave, we'll leave in the morning. Doesn't make sense to leave now.
They got nice
Plus,
comfy
I've-
beds here.
Yeah, I've got to talk to Verbrong and
I thought you would
see
know.
if he
No.
wants to go with us or not.
Sorry, when Sam says that whisper, Lamia does actually punch him on the shoulder.
Ah, how much damage
Yes.
was that?
You're good.
You deserve that.
Unless she's trying
Anyways,
to hurt you,
I've got to chat with Verbrong because they had a plan to get him out west where he wanted to go, and all of the weird stuff that happened with the competition of the star. That then it fell through, and then they didn't want to keep pushing that way because of all the odd stuff with the Dorats. So he's either going to stay here or come with us or do something. So I need to go check with him, see what his plan is before we can, fully make our plan. I'm going to chat with Rahala too, see if she's coming back with us or if she's staying here or what she wants to do. And then, I've just got a couple other people to go out and talk to.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think
Oh.
Rahala would be in the room with you, actually.
Oh, yeah, if she's staying with us. Then what are you doing? Are you coming back with us or are you staying here now that you've got your cool new friends?
Well, I do have two
Yeah.
new friends, but...
Cool,
no.
new friends.
Well, two of you said it. She's just looking at Lamia.
Oh, cool new friends.
Yeah, you and your
I mean, they are pretty.
new friends.
I mean, they are pretty cool, but
They all-
Nobody knows what we're referencing. Nobody.
It's okay.
JB's
I
like
know.
the only one that would know.
I know.
Well, I know now too, but now Molly's confused. But
But
she says,
yeah.
"But no, I'm gonna go back with you all, of course. I mean, you leave with the date you brung or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. Casimir kept saying it.
Something about a hole she rode in on too. I had that expression a lot. Right out on the
Oh,
hole
I've
she
heard
rode
that
in on.
more than negative. But yeah, sure.
Anyways, we have to tell you everything because I'm sure Lamia
Right.
didn't. So I will begin to fill her in on all of the occurrences, including the bird guy and everything that I didn't tell Clint. I'm going to tell her that somebody tried to pick Sam up in a spa, and all of that, everything.
That
Whole
Sam
meat
was apparently a
potatoes.
cuddler.
The brownies,
I think Chris,
giant
had
coin, the
blocked that
weird
out.
fae we met.
Oh, the bandit lady. Okay, no.
Yeah, the very
Yeah.
funny.
yeah.
The bandit lady
The,
tried to pick you up first, okay?
I know, but I will deflect
Yeah,
by
you've
saying
had the
she's
more
trying to pick
exotic
you up.
accent.
That's the point.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'll tell her about the troglodytes we ran into, all of it. Every little bit of nonsense I can conjure in our story.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
Yeah, you missed all the fun. I mean, I'm sure you had a much better time.
I mean, yes, for sure. God, for one, there was a dancing dog in the tower.
I did see that. That was fantastic.
You did?
I
Is
did
that
get
when
to
you
catch
were-
that.
Oh, so I just missed you then.
By like probably a minute, yeah. Because then we ran into the
I mean,
Dorats and they pulled us up
Right,
into the library to
explained.
talk to them.
Bastards.
Oh,
Pardon my.
but I just feel like they could have been so different if we'd been able to, link up while you were there.
Right. I mean,
Maybe
it
that was
would've-
part of
we
the
would've-
plan, right?
we still might not have had enough time to tell you everything because that's when we had to run into the Dorats and then they told us about the fox runners going to attack that village, and so we had to just zoom out of there
Right.
after I forcefully antagonized some bandits, which was a poor choice on my part. But it worked out. It was a gamble that paid off. Could have gone much, much worse.
Right. Well, they did end up getting a chance to talk to a few regional wardens and things of the area. So there's a good chance they'll be able to go and explore the mine soon, or at least send people into it.
So they're gonna find. They know what they're looking for already. If they're going into that same one we were in.
Right, that's the one, of course. But I don't know. I can only assume the reason they wanted you out of there so fast is so it'd be easier to go over Clint's head. If you're there, you could have caused some disruption, right?
Right.
You knew things. We really didn't yet, so...
Yeah, but separating us before we all got a chance to talk really meant that we didn't get to tell you guys any of the things we'd run into.
Yeah,
Does that mean you guys didn't get the note that Eli left?
Well, my note pretty much just said we'd be leaving. It didn't really explain much.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was afraid of writing it down and handing it to somebody else, you know?
I mean, that's perfectly fair if this lady can just dominate a person at will or whatever, even scarcely that's scary.
Yeah, I don't know. She can read minds, we know that. Because she just... Unless she's super well connected.
Horrifying.
But I saw her do a little bit of... She didn't do like verbal somatic like a spell, but she did do a little bit of a thing, and then she just was saying stuff that we were thinking about. And either she's, really well like informationally connected and she's pulling like an illusion switcheroo kind of thing on us, or she can read our minds. I didn't feel like
Both.
somebody in there like you do sometimes, but she definitely was just saying things that I knew that we had not spoken about.
Right. Okay. Well, unless somehow it's sealed itself again, there's a good chance they're going to be able to go down there and encounter Vladimiri.
Yeah.
Which sounds like it's something she wants.
Yeah, she...
Don't know that we're going to be able to stop that, though.
Yeah.
It could take some time through legislature and stuff to get the proper permits, so we could potentially be there, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's no guarantee she's going to go personally either, but if she does, that is a chance for a direct confrontation. I don't know that we want to take that, but it's a chance.
Not at the moment. I don't think we have the resources or the personnel to take her out if she can just grab people.
Right.
If we're lucky, it might take a little bit more time because the troglodytes.
Yeah, they did want to go back there.
It's true. I think having to deal with an infestation of them is going to extend the time rather than shorten it.
But that's if we're lucky.
Right. And because what you found isn't common knowledge, it's not on the radar of the white thrush, which is good. In a way, it's good. It means if we want to go there, we don't have to worry about red tape, but it also means that she doesn't have to argue with them about that.
Okay, and so Clint said a thing where he was talking about the guy who made all the statues, or the person who made all the statues, right? And he didn't know any more about it. But Tressa had said something about being an ancestor of the person who made the Vladimiri statue. So, either Tressa is directly related to this...
A descendant.
Right. So she's a descendant, like, directly related to this smooth hands that Clint was referring to. Or if this person had some kind of apprentice who they farmed out some of the statues to, because he said that was possible too. She's directly related to them.
Oh. That would explain why she knows about them. Because they're not common knowledge, right?
Right.
It's really difficult to find information on Vladimiri. But we found some. And most of the information we found on Naluxifix was in that temple that no one had been in. So...
Right.
I don't know. That's... it does lend some credence to the fact that she could have a familial connection. I mean, but she's from Delancia.
Right?
So does that mean maybe most of the information on Smoothhand is there?
It's also possible, yeah.
That also means that there's more of these, probably everywhere, really. Okay.
Yeah, she wanted a piece of that statue, and so if all she needs is a piece, right? As soon as they get access to that mine, she'll probably be able to get it. Especially because Vladimir wants her to find it.
Right. Well, I mean, Clint is up to date on everything now. I'm sure he'll do what he can to stymie that, but
Yeah.
it's possible he can completely squash that whole thing, and she won't be allowed in officially. We've already now seen her ability to work outside the law.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to move that many people, enough to potentially attack a village. I mean, that could have upset, with what we've been told now about the Fox Runners and the Cresting Suns, that could have upset a lot of things. Diverting military forces, even.
But all she has to do is know which people to move, and it seems that she's very good at assessing people's pressure points, whether they're ours or other people's, by offering them something they need or want, and then using that as a way to gain control of them, both with whatever magical ability she has, like this thingy. I rattled the shard around. I should probably stop doing that. This thingy, or whatever other ability she's using.
But she doesn't have that anymore.
No, which is a good thing.
Is a good thing.
Because this is how she was able to manipulate Isla so specifically. But controlling Isla meant she controlled the Fox Runners of that area entirely.
Right. Which is why you were able to ally with the Cresting Sun. She didn't have a person under her control leading them.
Exactly.
Okay, so you've weakened her grip, at least, on sort of geopolitical standpoints when it comes to warfare. Kudos. Well done, all. But what does that leave our next move as, other than going back to Saikan?
Well, we need to start trying to check out those stone temples and see if we can find more of these shards of the eye. Not just because Mashani told us that that's what she wants, but also because I really don't want the Dorats getting a hold of another one of these things. I don't know what they all do, but whatever it is, it's bad. And they're already going and looking, because she didn't just want the Vladimir statue, if I remember right. She specifically wanted that one. But she also wanted more. And if every time we've gone into one of these stone temples, we've run into a statue, if we can beat them to these statues, then maybe we can prevent whatever she is trying to do.
True, though you've always had rather terrible experiences running into these statues as well. Some
Boy,
of them more
howdy.
permanent than others. She just kind of puts a hand on your shoulder, Lamia.
Yeah. It is certainly
I was going to
true.
say Lamia was just looking away.
But from what Bird Mask friend who decided not to give me his name said, that this has something to do with my shadow being pulled across, and I also need to find out more about that before we have to just go to Vungia. I'd really rather not have to do that.
Right. That's a long trip. And there's a lot going on in Vungia. Like a lot.
Yeah.
You know how... This isn't confirmed. I can't tell you for fact, but Some of my family is from the Caliphate. I'm hoping to go back one day, but so you know how Vungia sort of got taken over, and people are mad about it, but there's a whole ceasefire. There's pretty good reason to believe that ceasefire is not exactly well respected, and that there's still a lot of skirmishes and things going on in Vungia. Seems like it's a very dangerous place to be, actually. And that's not just because the wilderness is wild. The people are a bit rabid too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'd like to not have to go all the way there. Alduin said that these crystal shards could help with what's going on with us. So finding them is in my best interest, at least. But I think everybody's, if we can stop this eye from ever being manifest again, we have to get it all together so that Ashani's agents can take care of this problem for us.
Right.
Or at least assist us.
She's nods. Okay.
And,
I think we can do it.
Yeah. In a couple of months, too, I'm going to have to go to Gerga whenever Clint's ship's available. And if we've cut through all of this by then, good. If not, it's a priority I'm going to have to shoot to the top of the list when it's available.
Oh. Is someone in trouble, or?
I think an entire city of folk might be in trouble. So, when I left, part of me leaving was an explosion of magical power that wasn't supposed to be unleashed in a building I was in, and apparently that building, according to Tressadorat, so take this with a grain of salt, she's not the most trustworthy source, but apparently that building has been transformed somewhat and is kind of causing a lot of problems for the people who lived around it.
That was you?
Be careful what you do when you're making magic ritual circles. If you put the power conduit part of the second circle, if you aim that in a different location, it greatly changes the effect you get.
Oh, goodness. What sort of circle was it? What were you trying to summon? What? I have no idea how that could... That place is... I don't even know how to put it. It's gone mad.
Right. So I need to fix that. That's why I don't like flying books.
Is that why you got attacked by a book?
Yeah, that's exactly. That's why I don't like flying books.
I've been wondering why you said that.
That's
okay. Yeah, okay. That does sound like it could be really bad. Though, I mean, when I was still not here, when I was still in Gerga, it was pretty well contained. But that was some time ago.
Yeah. Well, like I said, my source is Tressadorat, so take what I say with a grain of salt from her. But
I mean, it was just that bad place, and then the few sitting around it that were all crazy.
According to her, it's getting worse.
Oh. I wouldn't know. I could maybe find out if I was to contact my family.
Well, a verification of that would also be good before I, finance an entire expedition to Gerga. But Clint said the ship won't be ready for a couple of months, and I'm not exactly itching to sneak across a border right now and deal with that. If with the current problems I'm dealing with at the moment, kind of taking our attention.
Right. Okay. Well, I can reach out to them, but if I do. They're probably going to want to know where I am. And if they know where I am, then they might come sort of pestering about. I just don't want to create problems for anyone else, Okay. They're not going to blow the place up or anything, but they can be rather forceful, and even though I was sort of exiled, I think I don't think the point of it was for me to stay gone. I think it was so that I would come running back, and that hasn't happened. My father might be a little upset.
Oh, that sounds counterintuitive. You're never allowed to come back, but mentally I'm expecting you to come back.
You've never met a Tertian before, have you, Sam?
I've never been a Tertian?
No, I said you've never met one.
Oh. No, not. I mean, I met you, but you're not. I mean.
Look, they often say one thing but mean another. And I don't mean that to be disparaging to everyone from the Caliphate, but I feel like it's something that societally they're brought up into expect.
It's a bit of a culture.
Well, they can all shovel cow manure, in my opinion. That's get around stuff. That is a load of said cow manure.
It's really worse in well-off families where you have a lot to lose if you leave them, right? Like mine. But I have a weird childhood because my mother's Rallian, so things are just... There was a lot of odd cultural things that I don't understand about either, but there's a lot of things I understand better about both at the same time. My history aside, I can write a letter, and if my family shows up and is trying to get me to go back, or causing any sort of trouble, I'm really sorry.
Well, I mean,
it
we
won't
could just
be dangerous or anything. It could be really annoying.
We could just not write the letter too. I mean, I'm never one to.
You said it's important to confirm the
Yeah.
be going out there on the word of Tressa. I mean, my family's bonkers, but they're not evil.
Sure, but the less we have to deal with, the better. And if you're not trying to get into it, I'm not trying to step my foot into the familial politics of a rich Alsani family.
I really think it's more wise to get confirmation versus just financing a boat ride and being like, oh, nope, everything's not that bad, and then coming back home.
Right, like
of course it's more wise, but
But
if I was wise, we wouldn't have walked into two stone temples, fought two different Nassans, all taken any of the jobs we have been. We'd be all sitting in... Actually, if I was wise, to put it in strict contents, I'd still be in Gurga, and my life would be shit. Pardon my language.
No, it's not about wisdom. Regardless, fine. It's
your different way out. She shrugs. Let you continue.
It's your idea anyway. So.
Well, yeah. Look, we don't need it. We don't need confirmation this minute. Clint said the boat's not going to be back for a couple months.
Wouldn't the mail take a couple of months?
Probably. It's got to go over a border. But, look. The less stress I have to deal with at the moment, the better. We've got enough problems.
I'll let you know what I decide.
And I know, I point at Sam and Lamia, neither of you two have ever had to deal with the Alsani elite before, but I have, and I'd rather not.
Anyway.
Sounds like somebody should just, redo that whole social structure of that country.
Shut up, Panda.
Good luck. I mean, I don't know. There's good and bad everywhere, right? I mean, on the one hand, yes, they have some very strange politics, but on the other, we wouldn't understand the arcane the way we do today if it weren't for them. I mean, the arcane accords are annoying, but they're there for a good reason.
I'm just doing the thing where I'm trying to say something, but I'm not trying to say.
Stops.
I'm trying to say too much or not enough, or I'm all these things. Look, knowledge is power. That's all I'm going to say. And anyways, just, I don't know.
It is.
All we've got is that in the future. Right now, we've got the problem in front of us, which is finding these shard thingies. And if we go back to Saigon, they said there's one close by. Well, Clint said there's a stone temple close by there that they haven't checked out. But he also said there's one by the Birdsag farm. And Sam, that's like your family, right? Your folk.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that closer to where we are now? Would you mind terribly if you could pull up the map
close.
for me? Thank you.
Yeah, I can.
So I could
I'm about to
double
move
check
over
this.
to it right now.
Map time. Time to look at the
which
very
map it
nice.
is. There it is.
This is one of those moments where rustling around in the bag, pull out a map, slap it on the table, be like, okay, so
Why aren't you moving?
we're here in Chond, right? And the Birdsag farm's down that way, which is the opposite direction of Saigon. If we wanted to
yeah.
go by that one, since according to what Clint told me, that one's been around for like more than a year, and they haven't been able to get into it. But obviously, they would be more willing to try. But the one that's by Saigon is newer, so I feel like we have more time before the white thrush can actually get to it than the one they've already started on.
The nice thing about the one near the Birdsag farm is, like, they're my kinfolk. We kind of have a place to stay and, decent food and whatnot.
Well, I don't know where the one by Saigon is, but I mean,
Yeah.
we can at least
Fine.
stay at the shop there. So, right.
I might have to send a message ahead, have them, put in an order for some chickens. And just gonna glance over, just to be.
Lamia's face is like stone.
Yeah, going to a farm. Do they have a lot of livestock on the farm, or are they like agricultural? Like,
I don't remember if what we talked about.
because Lamia might have to do that.
Whatever
thing where
I'll
she-
say now is
More
true.
Does it-
agricultural.
Yeah, okay. I was
Yeah.
gonna say if there's a ton of livestock, Lamia might have to steer clear since she's been spooking animals lately.
Right.
Yeah, there's
Oh, there's ton-
you only remember there being like some livestock, but it's not their like they're more agriculture.
I say that with a big like wince, by the way, too. That you've been scaring livestock. I don't know, just
Yeah.
you know.
He
not
don't. I don't think he would do
casually
well
talking
in this
about that.
rain too well. I mean, maybe. I guess like we could get started breeding them with more of a water repellent coat over the. That'd take a couple generations to get that going.
You're the
Maybe.
I can tell you that's already been done.
farm
Here.
animal expert. I'm
Yeah.
not.
I don't know. But
You would probably know that people had done that here. It's just not every heat that's in Sensei is like that. Some have a bad time, but you know that there are
Yeah.
some that are like bred to be here.
if you get water resistant wool, then you gotta if you're gonna dye it, you gotta get a certain kind of dye. You can't use regular dye. You can't use water dye because it'll just roll off. So you gotta use like alcohol. And that's what you drink. So you don't want to use that.
Regardless, it is a good point to potentially head out that way
Yeah, you
before
could
we
send,
go back home.
Yeah, totally. You could send ahead to your family, right, and let them know that you're coming with some guests in tow. And heck,
I sent a
if the-
letter not super long ago that Verbrong may have stopped by.
Right, if the
But,
Bron
like-
comes with us, he could. I'm sure they always need a strapping young lad to help with farm work. I bet you that's what your granny told you. That's how any older people always got me to help as a kid.
I got tricked a bunch of times with it. It's always heavy stuff
Right,
or stuff that's
Well,
really
luckily-
high up. I'm not that much taller than most of my.
the Bron is both considerably taller than you and can pick up considerably more weight than you.
I mean not Veti, the regular halflings are called
Volu.
Volu.
Bolu. Yeah, of course I'm taller than Bolu, but we got some Demikin.
Demikin.
Well, yeah. If you didn't, then
That's really
you
close
wouldn't
to
exist.
Yeah, how do I be? No, I don't know.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and go to break.
Oh,
Break
and
time.
Come back. Or
Good,
did you
I
have
need
more to
more.
add, Molly?
Tissue.
It
so
sounded like that
that
was winding down, but you can go ahead.
this might bring up something more, and knowing
It's fine.
Eli, he might talk a lot more. But this has been bothering Lamia a little bit. Hey, have you gotten the chance to give Clint the ore or anything?
The what? Oh, no, I forgot about that actually.
Because if we can maybe fashion it for a weapon for ourselves, maybe that'll help on, for lack of a better word, this nascent diving.
There's a great call. I could see what he wants done with that. I forgot we had that since all of the, almost dying stuff. The things in my pocket stopped meaning anything. And a Faye didn't pop out of that one like the coin, or I would have forgot about that big coin, honestly.
I wouldn't have let you guys forget about it.
I'm gonna go show Miles that big coin.
I did tell Clint about the coin though, but I didn't tell him about the ore. So a Faye popping out of a coin is much more memorable than me collecting ore.
Okay, that was the one thing that was bothering Lamia for a while.
So we can kind of try to sort that. So we know, Sam wants to show Miles the big coin.
Big coin.
Eli's needs to talk to Varbrong. So, yes. Lamia, are you going to take the ore to Clint, or are you just guys going to just go as a group to each of these things one at a time?
I'll take the ore to Clint.
And the objective being to get it turned into a weapon. A weapon for who is the next question.
Yeah, that is the next question.
That's
got
up
the
to
ancestral
you guys.
Sword. I don't think he wants to trade in his ancestral sword.
I am down a spear though.
And I'm the weapon, so I don't need one.
I need
All
a
right,
weapon.
so it's between you and me, Panda.
Yeah. See if you can get it inlaid into your halberd, or a different weapon that's not a polearm.
Panda, rock, paper, scissors.
Oh no,
he doesn't want it. That's what we're saying.
Okay, then
yeah. Unless I can
then
get it like engraving with like silvering something. No, I'm gonna keep my sword.
Okay, then I guess it's a weapon for Lamia.
Okay, that sorts.
I also
that.
got.
Hey, a halberd takes significantly less steel to make than a sword too, or metal.
It does actually.
So that's also a plus, that we need less of that as a resource to make a halberd for you than a big old sword for him.
Yeah.
Big old sword.
Oh wait, now we go to break time?
Now we will go to break. We'll be back in 15 minutes.
15.
And we'll
check
see
your
you
fluids, because the break.
And now we're face live.
1973.
I don't know whatever you had said, Panda, but it sounded like Denikin in my brain, and all I could think of was the Russian military leader.
Indiscreet. The indiscreet co-ed is what I said.
Well, no, not that. It was before we went to break.
Just say it voice line for everybody else.
Yeah, that's the book he had his hands on.
Yeah. I don't want to show you the cover because it may violate pus. Which may be all the big mad at me because they're like, you can't show that. I'm like, bro, there's less skin on this than other people on your site. But you make more money off of them. So.
Who cares? Yeah. They don't care. They don't care. Shit's not fair. All right. So I know we talked about stuff that Lamia was going to show Clint from the inventory. Anything else that you see in your inventory that you're like, what was this? Or anything like that?
No.
For Lamia, no. Because she just has Wolfsbane and the extra stuff she got from Clint specifically.
In my loot tab, I know I have Claws of the Ice Bear in there and Stormcatcher, which is the quiver. What is this mysterious symbol with a small brooch made of dark metal and gold? What's that from? I don't remember.
The wall.
Remember that was the thing of the Assassin's Guild or whatever that we had found?
Okay, yeah, the Fang.
The Fang.
Cool.
Yes, thank you.
I just didn't remember what that was from because what is this? Yeah, no, I don't think I have gotten anything since then. Yeah. Nope. Yeah. Good.
Eli?
What? No, I don't have squat inventory.
Okay, cool. So that answers your question.
You guys take all the stuff. I mean, I have wands and stuff, but like I know what that does.
So okay, so you guys kind of split up briefly. Eli going to talk to Farbrong. Yep. Sam going to go talk to Miles real quick, and then Lamia going to talk to Clint. We'll handle yours first real quick here, Lamia.
Oh, okay.
And okay, so you go up to this. You come out. You ask, "Hey, you need to talk to Clint." Yada yada yada. You find out he's still in the study.
Cool.
So you're able to go in there. I believe for the first time for you.
It is, yeah.
You can see that he's just sitting at the desk. He's got like a pair of glasses on. He appears to be writing something down. He's got like this little crystal thing that's pulsing with like faint blue light that's orbiting his head. And he seems to be kind of talking sort of low to himself. As you kind of step up to the entryway, I imagine kind of do like the peek-in thing, like knock on the side of the wall.
Yep.
And he just says, yeah, come on in, Lamia, just finishing something up. No, that's not what he said. We got about six teams of 4, I believe. That's what it was before. Regulation hasn't changed. All right, pause there for now. All right, yeah, have a seat. What's on your mind?
Okay.
Rolls up whatever he was writing down.
Yeah, Lamia comes in. She doesn't actually take a seat because she takes out the ore. It's like, okay. And the broken armor and the halberd.
So you take out like an ore thing, you set that on his desk, and you pull like a whole halberd. And, like you're just like unloading all this stuff, and he's just now before you empty the contents of your bag. Oh
no, it's just these 3.
Right, I understand. Well, did you have a particular question? Just
well, this was the ore that was from the mine. We were wondering if maybe there could be a chance to fashion it so that we can use it. Because it's that ore that was meant for the rituals and such like that.
He picks it up and says, "Oh, okay. Yeah, this does look to be right. This is called what they call it here. Whisper steel is what they call it. Now, it's a very interesting mineral. No one really knows exactly where it came from, other than it appears in areas where we sometimes get them starfall events. We haven't really seen any over by that mine, but it's predicted that there was some a long time ago. It's some kind of interaction between the things that have fallen out of the sky and other mineral deposits down there. This stuff is, well, it's quite strong. I mean, you can even see in this ore form where it's kind of impure and such. It's hefty. It's pretty dense. But yeah, you could certainly fashion it into a weapon. It's been done before. I mean, I myself am no smith. It does take a very practiced hand to work this stuff. See, it's got a peculiar quality to it. You really can't redo it. Once it's been worked, once it's been fashioned completely into what it's meant to be, as long as it's done properly, you can't go and just melt it back down and try again if you want to make something else.
Okay.
It's too sturdy for that. Once it's purified and everything, or even turned into a proper composite, it's not going to melt down again. You ain't going to get a kiln or any kind of oven, crematorium. Nothing's going to get hot enough. There's a couple of folks that I know could probably work the stuff. I haven't had contact with him in a little while. But unless you want to wait quite a long time for this to go all the way back to Delancha and then make its way back here, you're going to want to find a real good smith here on Setsegia. And I'm sure they exist, since this is the same stuff that makes the wind spear a spear, you know? It's used for all them ceremonial weapons and the like. I don't have connections with that armorer. So
Okay.
I could try to find out for you, though. But you're actually welcome to keep it.
That'd be incredibly helpful.
Yeah, I could ask around, and might actually. Hell, honestly, Miles may know better than me. He's the one who likes to collect weapons.
Oh, then I'll get Sam to ask him.
I mean, you can ask him yourself. I mean, I know those two are bonded, but you don't have to delegate the task unless you really want to.
Yeah, what the hell?
But
Sam's like, excuse me, but I work for Eli, not for you. Thank you very much.
But, that's very special stuff. It's quite a bit. It's
Yeah, we almost missed getting this, but Shaluvi told us to go ahead and explore further down there.
Well, there is one other aspect of this Whisper Steel that's a bit different. Like they call them star metals. All these ones that have that starfall stuff in them. To keep it simple. This one, Whisper Steel, really only occurs here. I think they'll see it on occasion in Roroa, lands where the animistic spirits of the land and such are more awake. Places like here, there's some in Gurga. You'll find areas like that in spots elsewhere, but this stuff takes some particularly powerful animus to form. There's a spirit in any deposit of Whisper Steel. It is usually dormant. Once properly worked, it can be awakened to your benefit.
Okay, I'll mention that to Eli. That sounds like stuff that's a little out of my wheelhouse of knowledge.
Yeah, well, he may know a bit. Yeah, that's true. Though you might be better off talking to a Setsi shaman of some kind. They tend to understand animistic spirits a bit better. It's less of a schooled mage kind of practice than a shamanic one. But he may know. I know very little. Only just it's going to require some type of tribute or oath. They can be a little. Spirits are strange. They are not people. They don't think the way we do. There's no real telling what it's going to want or ask for or desire. Like it. Even if you never awaken it, though, the material is exquisite. You can make a damn fine weapon with it. He slides that back towards you and looks at the kind of destroyed armor. This is now. Was this all? This all was in the mine, you said.
Yeah. Well, this specifically was in the room that we had to drown Vladimiri's followers in.
I mean, I heard vague telling of that. Sounds harrowing.
I had to drown a city. It is like literally all I said.
That's all he heard about it.
Yeah, I was like, I wasn't gonna mention that.
Remember, Lamia doesn't. I mean, to her, it was fine. It was a good thing that we did that.
Yeah, but you didn't have to do it, so I
Yeah.
don't want to talk about it because it was a traumatic experience that I'm not willing to unpack yet. So I'm not mad at you for mentioning it. I'm just saying that's why I didn't mention it.
Oh
Because
yeah.
I haven't come to grips with that traumatic experience yet, so I'm not ready to talk about it.
Well, that is certainly something. Lami, as you'll remember, there were two sets of these things. Maybe you don't remember. There's two sets of this armor, and there was two of those. There's one halberd. There were two sets of armor.
Yeah, 2 sets. I probably would have only taken one armor from the one that didn't have the halberd, and then just the halberd from the other thing.
Really?
Well, would I have
Sam's
taken
a
both?
klepto, so he'd have taken everything if you let him. I'm by Sam's a klepto. I mean, Panda's a klepto.
Yeah.
I mean, it's up to you. I'm not sure why you wouldn't have taken both unless you were worried about your bag being full or something. Because
I mean, it is a normal bag.
Quickly.
We have extra dimensional spaceman.
Yep, I have an extra dimensional bag.
Okay, if extra dimensional spaceman had allowed me to, I would have taken both armors then.
As long as it's not over 250 pounds, we're good. That's the limit of my bag.
It's not.
So
So
yeah.
you took one in your bag and then one in his bag?
Yeah.
If you were taking him to Clint, I'd have given it to you if you're trying to show him to him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So something that you would have both seen. Each of you just roll me a d20 real quick.
Bet. Oh, I don't know why I was going to my character sheet to roll a d20. There we go.
Perfectly average.
Perfectly 7.
Yeah. Lamia, only the one that you took is still there.
Oh!
Neat.
And Pam is here too.
No. I just wanted to see if I beat him. I'm
But,
being competitive.
No, you're fine, dude.
Okay.
Yeah, Lamia, only the one that you took that was in your bag is still there.
That's weird.
So, fast forward again. I imagine you mentioned that to Clint.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that.
Just
that
for
would be-
reference, since mine's an extra dimensional bag, I would have dumped everything out of my bag. Would have been like, it's not in here. Just like doing the shaking it
Do
upside
the, like,
down.
upside down
Reach-
thing to make sure
Yeah, like-
everything comes out.
Reach myself all the way into the shoulder, even though it doesn't matter because it's an extra dimensional bag. Just like, no, not in there. Just like,
Hold your breath, stick your head in. Okay, no, it's not there. Not doing that again. But yeah, it's definitely not there. So you mentioned that and produce it. You see him. He takes off the glasses, what look like reading glasses that he was wearing. He puts on a monocle, and seems to be sitting there examining it. And just, well, it's seen better days. There's certainly some magic involved here. Absolutely some illusion involved for sure. Let me see what I can see him rustle. You hear him rustling around the things. You hear he opens the drawer and you hear what sounds like it sounds like what you would imagine if you dumped 3 drawers full of silverware together. There's just crashing of materials and his hand rustling into them, and then something that goes like a pop noise, and he goes, oh, damn it, it's fine. Closes that one. Here it is. He takes out what you recognize as looks like a wand, and he taps it against the armor a couple of times, mutters a few things, taps it another couple of times, very haphazardly. You've seen people use wands, and they're very exact in what they're doing, the casting motions and such. Even Eli, the times you've seen him use it, it's very practiced. He's trained to use it before, and he has a certain way that he just instinctively will do it. And this doesn't look like this. It's like a man beating a set of broken armor with a stick. Tat, 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 tat. He's just hitting it several times, and mutters a few things, and then pokes it, and then he gets a little more aggressive. I've smacks it again, and you see these blue sparks kind of rapidly expand across it, just like a shock goes off of it, and A few feet next to it, you see an illusion of the exact armor laying on the table, just how it is. Just kind of flicker for a second and then wink out. Huh. Okay. That's something. Hold on. Whacks it again, mutters a few things, and kind of adjusts it, like lifts it up slightly. It's still kind of just like unwieldy because it's broken. Alright, one more. Hear like a clink, and then another illusion of it appears like 2 feet to the right. Just exactly the same position. He like moves it and the illusion moves, and it looks more and more like just for a second they look identical. Like the illusion's not quite as see-through. He's like, okay, that's some effect. I wonder if it... Huh. That doesn't really explain how you got two. And maybe it's a little bit more potent when it's all put together. Well, that is certainly interesting. Looks like it's meant to be banded mail, I'd say. I can't tell you exactly what it's gonna do once you get fixed, but that certainly is something. I wouldn't throw this away. You probably want to find somebody to repair this. I mean, if you really wanted to, there's enough material here. You could probably, if you find the same person who you want to work that their whisper steel, you could maybe have it incorporated into this, or you could make an entirely new thing. That's up to you. If they could get the materials, I'm sure they could prepare it. There's enough here. But they're going to need to know a bit about magic.
Sounds like an idea.
He kind of folds it back onto itself. But it looks like it's going to have some type of effect similar to a mirror image, which is... it casts off a number of sort of illusory duplicates of yourself. And it makes it a little bit difficult for things to target you and hit you with like arrows or swords or even rays and the like. Could be quite useful.
Yeah, that certainly sounds like it.
I'm sure there's more to it, but without it being in its proper form, I can't really analyze that magic. And to be honest, that's not my complete expertise. This halberd thing here. Okay.
Mirror what again? Sorry. Mirror image? That's right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was typing it in the descriptor box.
Well, this thing... This looks pretty interesting. Hold on, Molly, I forgot. What condition is that halberd in?
I didn't type in damaged. Like, I typed in broken for the armor. But let's assume it's rusty, maybe, because it's been in the... It was attached to the... I mean, the statue was holding it.
Should go back and watch that. It's definitely not rusty.
Okay.
I don't know. Give me high or low roll D100.
High.
You want it to be. Okay.
It's the opposite.
That was all. God, that could have been really good. Okay. Well.
Oh well.
Right, he examines it and says, "Okay." He takes it and he's looking at it. And, well, okay. This one's hard to figure out. That the head of this, some kind of crystalline substance, it's definitely magical. I want to say that's maybe an evocation aura, which makes me a little concerned it's going to explode, but only a little. You've been carrying it around long enough. And wouldn't be the first explosion I've had to survive. Well, I don't want it to blow up in my office. Well, I'm not going to tinker with it in that case. We're just going to look. It's still sharp, so don't touch this part. Oh, hold on a second. This room here is for... You know what? I think if this thing breaks all the way, it's like tapping the crystalline head of it, I think it'll come back.
It regenerates?
I think so. It should. I think it's supposed to be... It's almost like it's stuck. Like it... I don't know, it needs repairs, but it also needs... It mostly needs magical repairs. Somebody needs to finish some of these runes etched in it, and maybe... I don't know, they might have to replace the whole haft of it to get... Like, recreate that part, and whatever's stuck in here that grows out this crystal head, they just need to put it in a different haft, because I think maybe some of the arcane sigils and things on the inside of this have been damaged. That's just a guess. Damn. If you had like a Caliphate crafter or somebody around, this would be their wheelhouse. This took some real ingenuity to make this thing. You could probably use it as is.
But expect an explosion, maybe?
Possibly, until it's repaired. And if maybe if the head of it explodes, maybe it'll finish doing the regenerating of it. Maybe it'll be ready. But I couldn't tell you, and I wouldn't do it myself. I'd wait for someone whose specialty is crafting or identifying these things to do so.
Okay. All right, then I guess that'll be it. Actually, you know what? I just remembered. I have this huge blanket. I don't know if it's magical or not, but I do need to find that out before I try and make clothing out of it.
James thought it might be magical.
Gosh, we need a black light for that blanket.
You start pulling this blanket out, and when you first start like removing it, he's just kind of watching, and then as you get to the point where it's like you've pulled out enough for the size of like 2 comforters, he's like the eyes like you can see like the eye behind the monocle, and the other one they're just slowly narrowing. He says, "You found this in the mine as well, and where was this? Why is it so much?"
Same room. And it was on top of a bed.
Didn't I take all the silk fabric too? Like, yeah.
You did, yeah.
Yeah.
You say that, you hear his chair scoot back. It's the blanket from atop the bed of... I don't know if I'd be touching that if I were you. It's it ain't magical, at least not no more.
Okay.
Whatever they did to it. Lobby, you might want to have that washed.
Yeah, I was gonna wash it.
Prestidigitation, I mean, like, you might want to hire a few people with gloves on.
Yeah, I was going to go to...
And you probably want to stop touching it with your hands.
Use your mouth.
And don't let any of your food touch it.
No, my food's tucked... Well, it doesn't matter. My food doesn't matter anymore, really, I guess.
Yeah,
yeah, okay. Well, I'm able to just start stuffing it back in.
With bare hands.
Yeah, that one, I don't think you're going to get too much use out of it. If you do, then more power to you. But that's all. There's some high-collar mage headed his way out east. Supposedly met him at the tower. His name is Jovan. He's not Federo, but he is from Delancha. He's a little bit, he got a little bit of pomp about him, so I can't make any recommendations about his attitude and upbringing, but he does seem to know what he's talking about when it comes to magic. I heard he was heading out to Saikon to act as some kind of advisor for something going on out there. Who knows?
Wait, isn't Saikon? No, wait. Yeah, it is east. Okay.
Yeah, Saikon is almost the furthest east you can go in Saikon.
No, in my head, I was switching east and west. Oh, okay. That might work out for us. Maybe. But regardless, thank you, Clint.
You're very welcome. Please wash your hands.
Sure.
Not in here, obviously. There's no sink, but you should wash them.
Okay.
Because that blanket is filthy. I'm telling you. It may look clean. It's not.
Guys, what does blue mean?
Yeah, I tried so hard not to laugh, guys.
What does blue mean?
I'm trying so hard.
Is that bad? No.
Is there
But yeah,
blue? Anyway.
well, I mean, we'll go on and find a place to wash our hands, and then just continue on with our life.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Sam, you go talk to Miles.
Yeah. I'm carrying this gold over my head.
Yeah, you find him. He's actually in the map room, like across from the dining room area. He's just kind of standing there looking at one of them. It's just like you walk in, hearing him say, "Responsible for all those coastlines. I don't know how he had the life in him to do it. Somebody walking in here with a big ass coin over their head.
Heads or tails?" And I try and flip it.
Oh god.
Like right as he turns around and you flip this fucking 22-pound coin, he goes, "Oh shit!" He doesn't call, or actually, wait. He says, "Oh shit," and then while it's still flipping, he goes, "Heads." And I guess roll a D2. Oh. We'll say heads is 1.
Sure.
Tails is 2. There it is. It's tails. Boom! Hits the ground, makes this like loud thud.
I guess, is it carpeted in here? Is there a carpet in here?
Yes, thankfully.
Okay. I probably wouldn't have done that if it was just hardwood. Tile or something.
He like just barely gets his foot out of the way. Like... Sam. Alright. I didn't expect you to flip it. He like steps aside. You can see there's like a mirror sitting underneath the map. It's like how you were carrying a giant coin. Oh. He's like, all right. I would ask why you flipped it, but you know what? I probably would have done the same thing. Where did you get that?
Remember those brown? Sorry, tractor. You remember those brownies I talked to you about? Paid us a gold coin to ferry him across the river.
Oh, gods above. That's the coin?
Yeah. There was
that must weigh 20 pounds.
It used to weigh less, because there was a fae living in it.
Pixie?
Yeah. She's still a fae. Or they were still a fae.
Both correct. Yeah.
I'm doing however big they were. In me size is probably this.
She was here.
But for her. Oh.
Mm-hmm. She was young.
Now you held your hand up. I didn't see a bottom hand.
Oh.
Okay. I was like, so she's like 3 feet tall, or
like almost exact. Like yeah. Anyway.
Okay. For Sam, it would be like this. He's a different size, so. But anyway, yeah, I don't know where I'm gonna put this. I think somewhere on the wall.
Lighter.
Yeah, when she was in it, she was making it lighter. I don't know how that works. Magic is an enigma.
Pixies are kind of strange. Some of them, they can do odd things like that.
Pretty cool. We got some pixie dust from her that does some stuff if I shoot arrows at people and manage to actually hit them for once.
Damn. They must have really liked you. They don't usually give that stuff out.
We did a little bit of a trade. Oh, was it food? Yeah, food.
It was travel cake mix.
Yeah, you should get Eli to cook for you sometime. Apparently he's an amazing cook. He doesn't, never told anybody this.
Oh, no.
He just hides that in his back pocket. I think he doesn't tell people because he's afraid people ask him to cook for him.
I can't blame him. Yeah. I'm not too bad in the kitchen myself.
Am I gonna have to take skill points in craft cooking or
You
something?
absolutely
now?
are.
You don't have to.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, I tell people I love animals. I know how to do stuff. They're like, "Oh, well, you can take care of the horses then." And it's like, yeah, but I'm more into
not doing that.
Yeah, heaps or something. Horses.
Yeah.
Horses.
I mean, we got some pretty solid cooks around here too. So, but that is something else. So, I mean, damn, that's 20. I mean, he picks it up. Yeah, about 21, 22 pounds. I mean, it looks just like a giant ass version of hold on now. This is not from any Setsi mint. There's no words on this damn thing.
I rummaged in my pocket trying to find a gold coin. Actually, I didn't look at it too hard. I just saw a coin with, minted. Figured it was the same.
Doesn't look the same. In fact, you don't recognize this. You don't know what it's from. On one side, the head's side, it looks like a ram's head is just on there. You see some kind of engravings around the edge, but he said there's no words on it, and you don't recognize it as writing or anything. If it is, it's completely foreign to you. And on the tail side appears to be a handprint, and there are these little spikes kind of coming off of each finger.
Yeah, spikes.
Just little points that come off. They're not the fingers are rounded, but there's also these little etched triangles kind of coming off of them.
Wonder if this is I didn't ask the brownies where they got this. Now I'm thinking I should have.
I mean, maybe.
I don't think I would have got a straight answer out of it.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, it's quite something. It's possible maybe somebody just put a design into it, maybe it's just coin-like. But, god damn. That's a lot of money you're holding there.
We know it's money because...
just waving it around.
Oh, yeah, of course, but... Lame has one of them treasury pouches, that all the currency can fit into. This goes in there. So it's currency, apparently. Yeah.
Okay. This is my rough guesstimate. If that thing is gold all the way through, and it feels like it is, you're looking at maybe about 1,100.
I'm trying to think of how many E's put in B gold piece.
I think it's worth probably 1,100. In
That's
regular gold coins.
Too many zeros.
That's just on the gold value alone. Now, if you find somebody a collector of weird stuff that if you can get this identified, have it, they call it appraised and all that. If it's attached to something, this could be worth a lot of money. A lot. More than just its weight in gold.
Well, yeah, just a gold sculpture is worth its weight in gold, but also the manpower and the design and art aspect of it. Yeah,
could have other things it's related to. That is quite a find. And they gave you this just for taking them across a river?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what else. They didn't give me anything else. Hey,
I got a fireworky one, but that was in the stuff they gave us the night before.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh well, a fireworky one, a tube of fireworks, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave
Roman
they
candle.
traded for.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eli traded to them something like a fire tube thing. I don't.
That was a
rather not.
willing trade when we were asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
They apparently got pretty hungry during the night and traded us some items for some of our food. I got a rock that had a little like a lightning bolt type thing on the side of it. And apparently, if I threw it,
Thunderstone. Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, brownies are known to be generally pretty helpful as long as you're polite, so I'm not too surprised. Interesting. Okay. Damn.
I threw that point blank at somebody.
You are a brave man, Mr.
Yeah,
Good
they
Man.
damn near killed me that time as well as the next.
God, Sam, you gotta get into a safer line of work or something.
I mean, I was a farmer. That's pretty damn safe. You know,
It was.
not a lot of exciting stuff going on there. Except every time you find sometimes you get one of those really big strawberries that looks like it has two strawberries that just got smushed together. And that was a super strawberry.
Those.
I got
in
super
a
long.
lot of trouble. I ate one of them once. I wasn't supposed to, but yeah, man, they were like, "No, what are you doing? It's good luck." Sorry, it was good.
Or a double yolk egg. One time we got a triple yolk. Don't ask me how. I feel sorry for that there chicken.
Their chickens are doing something weird out there.
It's a big chicken.
But the hell was I gonna say? I don't know, man.
Artwork value. Sorry, I got off on the yeah.
Right? Yeah. There's a shit. There's some museums and stuff that might be able to do it.
Belongs in a museum. Sorry.
Milan, I think, has one. That's the thing about museums. People will tell you is you can donate stuff to them, but they may also have to try to buy it off you. They do have to do that for some things.
Well.
The real big ones, usually all their stuff's donations.
Yeah.
That way, the admission can be real low, and they just have to kind of keep the place running. But
I mean,
some
I would
of the smaller
like
ones, they got to shell out sometimes. They have people that it doesn't matter. It's all Federo stuff that my father's told me. But
well, if it is worth
you can find some
that much, I might consider donating it or selling to a museum. That'd be a good thing. Might get them to put things as a kindly acquired from Baldwin and Associates and so forth. And that'll be good advertising for us, and also other people get to see this marvel of a real big coin.
Real big.
Right. Or there's the alternative though. If you can find out, where it's from or any of that stuff, you can always keep it and be the start of that kind of collection. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then, you donate it whenever, or you can just let people come see it, that type of thing. That's
I don't know. That stuff's always kind of I'm not talking bad about your father, but sorry, I got through.
Or hear me out. You find a wishing well, and you make a real big wish with a real big
we found a really big wishing well.
Yeah.
That sounds like something out of a Fable game. I mean, for example, your father has all kinds of very interesting things that I never would have got to see had I not, done a job for him and become, associated with him. And if I give it to a museum, that means more of the common folk get to see some fancy stuff. I think that's a little better. I'm sure there's a lot of things that some people in this world, the common folk, will never be able to see because it's in a private collection.
That is true. Father's private collection is more it's more just stuff he ain't been ready to let go of yet.
Yeah.
He's donated so much, but there's some of the things they got sentimental value and the like, so.
My grandpa collected pitchforks from different countries. You should see his barn. He just has all types of pitchforks hanging on the wall, 4-prong, 5-prong, different designs. There's one that, how forks are supposed to come out like this. It's at an angle, so almost like a hoe, but it's a pitchfork.
He's traveling the world to collect pitchforks, or is it just?
I think people
coming
brought
through?
him to him. Like he got 3 or 4, and then people just started
Like
breaking.
he got
them.
3 or 4, and they was like, "Oh, I'll bring you a pitchfork because I'm going to Roroa or whatever."
Yeah.
I don't even know if they have pitchforks out there.
No. There's some kind of battle pitchfork.
Anyway, that coin, yeah, it could be worth a lot. I mean, whatever you do with it, interesting. Write me a letter or something. Let me know how it turns out.
Now I'm thinking if there's a silver and like copper piece out there somewhere of same like scale, you know.
I guess you could start running around outside in the woods, offering your help to brownies, hoping they show up. I wouldn't, but you're welcome to.
Well, the nice thing about that is I could probably have that commission made, and that's going to be cheaper because it's not as expensive metal. I don't know. But then those would be forgeries. I don't know. They wouldn't be.
I don't know what kind of mint this is, so
Yeah.
hard to call it a forgery when we don't even know if it's anything official.
This is an odd question, I know, since I'm not here. But is it struck? Does it look struck? Because he says it wasn't minted, whatever. Does it look struck, not engraved?
Like struck or.
Yeah, because that's how they make coins, is you put them
Was it
on
poured into a mold?
thing,
Or
and you strike them with a hammer that has the symbol on it. So if it looks struck, that's a big fucking hammer.
It's true.
Do you ask that question? I mean, I'm fine with that if you...
I mean, sure, yeah, I'll admit
I
think
would
of
have
it.
generally, I think, had that question because Eli doesn't know what the difference between a struck coin or whatever is,
Yep.
but he knows how coins are made, but he wouldn't know how to find that out, right?
That's a lot of metal.
If you hand him a coin and go, this one was struck, this one was poured or whatever, he'd be like, okay, they're coins.
Hmm.
But, you know.
I mean, the engraving work. Is this engraved? Oh, or is this like molded?
That's a good question.
Yes, are there sharp corners on any of these ridges, or like that's how I would try and tell? Is
I mean,
like engraving would leave
perception
maybe
check.
more of a sharp edge. That's just me
Mhm.
knowing about some engraving stuff, you know, and then pouring stuff into a
Give me
mold.
perception real quick.
Just
Also, when things are struck, they're generally a little off the center because it's incredibly hard to hit the same spot square with a hammer that's the same size as the thing you're hitting. So,
Yep.
Says you. I'm joking.
yes.
I mean, I've tried it. So, not a coin specifically, but I've definitely tried to hit the same spot repeatedly with a hammer. It's not easy.
Damn.
Like,
So you're kind of examining it, trying to see like, how did they make this damn thing? Like, yeah, there is some unevenness to it. You're noticing it's like it's not every coin is a perfect circle, but they're pretty close, or ovoid, or just depending on where you get the coin. They're all pretty damn uniform. You don't have another one to compare this to, but you do see some marks of what looks like more like sharp impacts rather than settling. And you see just like there's just a little bit of unevenness to it. Yeah, this definitely looks like this was worked by hand.
There be giants in them hills.
yeah. There's giant coin for bread, just for giant bread.
Right.
That or it was a coin that somebody made small and then enlarged somehow with magic or whatever.
That's-
there are multiple
that.
ways this could have happened.
That's like the reverse of what people do. Like, that, or what I would do if I had an enlarging, shrinking thing. I would make something really big to work on it, and then shrink it back down so it just has that fine detail.
Yeah.
Just
Exactly.
working on small shit. I got me-sized
But,
hands.
He says, so if you mention like it was worked by hand, he's like, well, damn, must be some big ass hands. Okay. I don't know who would need. I mean, why would you make a gold coin this size? Like let's say you're like maybe like multiply your size by like 4, right? And then like this is more normal sized. Why does gold, something that's like scarce and yeah, it's valuable to people, but why make that into a currency type form like this, you know? And why scale it up so high? That just seems odd to me. unless you're really fucking big. You know what I mean? Excuse
I mean, yeah.
Excuse me.
I
Like
know.
maybe if you were 10 times, then like it's like, okay, well, yeah, you gotta have something you can at least pick up and carry. And it's not just like a tiny grain of sand or nothing. But I don't know, ponder this.
I mean, just the idea of. So you're saying this was struck?
Yes.
Okay. Just the idea that to make the equipment and mold and like the face of this hammer would take an extraordinary long time to just make one of these.
Right. Exactly. Unless you had tremendous strength, or like you said, some sort of infrastructure, but maybe not complete. Maybe not up to modern standard.
Maybe some kind of.
God damn it!
I know they have.
Sits down.
I'm assuming we're in the level of technology that they could use water wheels to make like a power hammer and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
That's not archaic, you know. That's something you could have pretty advanced.
Yeah,
if you
you're
have
not gonna
windmills,
have electricity,
yeah,
like electric power, but
Right.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, but water generated power makes sense because we know from another campaign, sorry viewers who weren't in this campaign, that the printing press already exists. And we do know that firearms exist because Clint has been beating around the bush with firearms this whole time. So it is a reasonable leap of logic to assume that water powered, like, mills and things would be
But
yeah,
there's also
with
magic,
water,
and when you have the idea of
mostly.
like heat metal exists and stuff like that, so
Right.
it's like,
There's
yeah,
some
why do we
workarounds.
need technology when you literally have magic to do stuff?
But
yeah,
you do because even though you guys have kind of seen a lot of magic, Hayethe is in what I keep calling the magical renaissance. It was not super common before it was not super common in the Desolate Age. So like it's been like a few hundred years or whatever since then, right? But even in that, it took a long time for magic to become widespread enough that like a lot of people could just know it, or you could have a nation of people who are all very familiar with it. So to answer that question, technology continued to build up steam over time. You didn't just like lose knowledge of how to make windmills and stuff like that.
I was thinking that too. We were all just making steam like chuckle.
Yeah.
steam technology.
So whereas there's magic is still really hard to teach. Not everyone is good at it, and it's not as widespread. So like if you have a class of people and go, okay, I'm gonna teach you how to be engineers, you can do that. They're not all gonna be great at it, but they'll all get the basics. They'll all be able to go and work jobs, right? Versus if you have a class of people who are like, I'm gonna teach you guys magic. Maybe a third of them are competent mages. And it's still going to take many, many years to ramp them up to be able to like actually do something for society as a whole with what they're doing. Most of the like super functional mages that are like out as like your magical equivalent of like a whatever it's called, of like a magical equivalent of an engineer are in the Caliphate almost exclusively. They're starting to get more of them in like Benhia, because they've also got arcane colleges and stuff, but that's also where all the engineers came from for the most part. The super high ones, that's where the firearms are. Spoilers. Anyway, so it's safe to assume you guys sit here and like banter over this coin for a while.
Yeah.
Did you have anything else specific you wanted to kind of bring up while you were talking to him? I don't want to cut you off if you had anything else.
No, I'm trying to think. Now we got that. That's pretty cool. I think Limelight is going to talk to your dad about. We got some cool ore from that mine. That's kind of hidden. I got some silk in there that was used on a big four-poster bed. I don't know what I'm going to do with that. Probably use it as a rope because similar construction stuff. I need to go wash it though.
I mean, yeah, this
Might just go throw in the river.
Stations and such outside to wash stuff, where all clothes get washed. At least, if you're just using water and soap.
Because was Lamia coming to talk to Miles after
Yeah, I was gonna go ahead and start trying to head over to where that was. Either find you or Miles, whichever I found first.
Oh, okay. So
she
I
can
guess
show
you
up
could walk in at that
while
point.
we're bullshitting. Yeah.
Yeah. So you get told at some point, oh yeah, he's in the map room, and you go in there, you see him and Sam sitting down with like this like pull-out desk thing,
Big ass
giant
coin.
ass coin sitting on it.
Oh, am I interrupting?
No, I was just talking about you. All good stuff. Talking about that ore, stuff we found because we're talking about this coin.
Right. Yeah. Did you want to tell her about the thing that we discussed, or she?
The price of this?
No, I'm trying to mess with her.
Oh,
You hear him actually say, "No, I'm trying to mess with her."
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Lamia just tilts her head, but then shakes it.
I'm gonna run and
Oh.
grab medicine real fast. I'll be right back.
Okay. If I'm not interrupting, Miles, your dad said you might know some. Sorry, I wrote it in a different place. Why did I do that instead of my
you broken
notes?
it? Oh, wrote.
Wrote.
Oh no, she got that bedspread off that bed too. I took the curtain part of it.
Your father told me you might know some blacksmiths that could work, like with magical broken armor, or maybe with whisper steel.
Oh, you got whisper steel. Damn. Okay.
Mm.
Must have been out of the mine, right?
Is that what that ore was?
Yeah, that's what Clint said it was called.
Oh, cool. Sounds cool. I don't know what it is, but it sounds cool.
Oh, it's really cool. It's
Star
probably
metal.
Spirit in there. It is
Oh!
one of the star metals. There's a
Well,
few
hey,
of
we
them.
saw
That's just
we
one.
saw one of those. That one time.
The Starfall.
In a while. Yeah.
Yeah,
it was-
There was one not too long ago.
If we weren't on a mission, I was kind of like, it's tempting to go after.
Yeah.
just as an adventure. Depending on where it
You find
landed,
some
though.
interesting stuff. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Sometimes you send teams and stuff out there looking for them, but they're hard to predict is the problem. But no, yeah, I do. There's a guy. He's this Hito fella in Galset Soct. It's like southwest of Saigon.
I think I remember seeing that on the map when we were taking care of those bandits around near there.
He turns since you're in the map room and like points at it.
Oh, yeah, right.
Kind of forgot where we were for a second. Yeah, right in here. So he used to be a smith working out in Toko, but he learned a lot of stuff. Like he went through Songguk and like a few different places. Apparently that's a thing. A lot of these like weaponsmiths and armor smiths and stuff in Toko, and I guess sometimes even from Hoyoko, like way down there, they'll like journey out and like learn different styles of crafting and whatnot. And I guess the goal is to like return and kind of impart that knowledge to their folks. The Toko people, I think, usually just end up settling somewhere else, but I think it's just because Toko's it's kind of small, probably a little crowded. But no, he's from there, and he lives down there in Galset Soct. That's where all the them people that can like control water and stuff are. Well, yeah, there's some people out there that can like control water.
I think that would be very useful here.
It is, but they're kind of secretive about it,
Why do they only settle in like one place? They should be all over the place here.
Oh, I mean, they travel too, yeah. Like a lot of them end up wandering, but they're not everybody born down there can do it.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's what I was thinking.
Well, awesome. Thank you. That's definitely a step further than I originally have. So awesome.
Lobby, you also remember the "Can I have a grape?"
Yeah.
That's not where you went, but it was that same line. It was when you went to hang out with the person. I forgot who. I forgot what the side quest was called.
Oh.
That's where that was.
Oh, okay.
Was that a world map that he pointed at, or was that a Sensei map?
He probably would have pointed the one he was looking at, which was a Hayethe map, like a whole world map.
I'm gonna go up to that, and I'm gonna start like going from like my hometown to like, man, I'm further than I thought.
Yeah, you've been a long way.
I mean, if I go like the actual route I went, you can't go in a straight line up here.
Nope.
I mean,
People
that's
still
the
don't
shortest
like crossing
distance.
open ocean too much.
Something about big fish or something.
But yeah. Sorry. There's a guy out there, Hito fella.
Do you know his name?
Kyogi? Kyogi, I think is how it's pronounced. It's like Kyogi, Kyogi. Like, I thought it would be like Kyogai or something, but
Okay.
I'm trying to go off of how he said it rather than like what my brain interprets those letters as.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kyogi. But I mean, yeah, I've had a couple of. They're all in my room where I'd show you. I've had a few different. Well, no, hold on. Like, stands up and you see like the side sword he's got on him. He says, no, this is one of his actually. Like, pulls the sheath off slightly. He doesn't like completely unsheath the thing because you're in a small room. But he just like kind of pulls that to show it. You can tell that the blade is just made of steel. There's something just interesting about the quality, just the make of it. It almost looks translucent. It's so just clear and pristine looking. He just kind of shows that, like, kind of angles it a few times. You can see like the light sort of just bouncing off of it. It looks polished. He says, now you wouldn't believe it. This weapon is battle ready. It's not for show.
Like cold steel. No,
I mean,
sorry. Every time I hear battle ready, that's what my mind goes to.
But since it's not for show, this isn't like decor, It's not like a general side sword from back home. I mean, it is that design. It kind of shows it, but this is meant to fight with, and I've done some sparring with it. I don't see no nicks, and it's damn sharp. I do have to maintain it, of course, but
does he have a mark?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Flips around to show you the sheath. Because he doesn't want to he says like it's on the blade, but he doesn't want to pull it all the way out. But it's also shows you on the sheath. It's like kanji, right? So he's like, yeah, that's his
kind of
this way.
Kind of cool looking picture thing.
It's Yara. I guess it's his name.
Oh.
Yara,
Okay.
Which I don't speak, but
I don't have any direct kin. Yeah.
Still awesome.
Man,
I just know about the marks when I just know about marks when I was when I found my old Cata Magna, in our attic. It was kind of gathering dust. It was made by a while back by someone in our family that was doing that same thing. Yes.
Sorry, there's a helicopter outside, I think.
Oh, they're coming for you.
Don't say that.
First, about the garage. You have too many Warhammer 40K models unbuilt.
Shut up! I know I do. Don't at me like that, bro. God.
Okay.
You
well,
law passed.
I got what I wanted. I'll leave you to continue whatever you were doing. Thanks.
Talking about a coin.
Yeah.
I mean, have you seen it?
Yeah, it was in my pouch for quite a while.
Yeah, it fits in that pouch, so it is currency.
It is
Does
currency.
do gold bars fit in that pouch?
They do.
Oh, okay. Well,
Because they are a specific... They're not currency, but they are the same function.
like a traded
Yeah,
material.
just like how you can put gems in it. Gems will actually go
Okay,
into it,
that makes sense. Well, maybe it could be considered something like a really big ingot, and maybe that's whatever culture this one like. That's how they struck their ingots, was like big coins.
Right. But
A big ass
we'll
ingot.
leave that there for now.
Let it hear me.
That's a big ass
I'm
ingot.
gonna take a rubbing of that when I get a chance. Since if you tell me that you
Don't
guys
you rub
talked
my
about
coin? I'm gonna. It's my germs.
because I'll realize a couple things that I want to find out what that symbol means, and it's way easier to show somebody a picture of it than it is to show them a giant ass gold
Hey,
coin.
what does this mean?
Yeah.
You need to put that away before somebody tries to rob
Right?
you.
I don't want to be robbed, so please don't hold that in the air. Also, your arms will get tired.
I'm a big strong boy.
But yeah, so we'll leave that for now.
Yeah, sorry.
You big strong boys hold 22 pounds out like this for a long time, bro. You'll see.
Yeah,
You'll see the arms start shaking.
that is essentially like a 20 some odd pound plate that you would do, workouts with, and just
Exactly.
holding that out like this at arm's length would be exhausting.
A couple minutes of that, yeah, you gotta go work out. But anyway, so we'll cut back over now to Eli since you're gonna talk to Varbrong.
Yep.
We've done a lot of talking. All right, so you find him out. He's not in the barn. He's by the barn.
Okay.
You actually see that there are several children standing around him, and he's wearing what looks like one of those like wide brimmed like sedge hat type things to keep the sun out of his eyes.
Nice.
One kid is just like holding onto his arm and is like trying to climb up it, and he's just standing completely stoic and still. And there's like 4 others that are just kind of down there. One of them is like swinging around a stick, not like at him or anything, just like swinging a stick around kind of lazily. And you can tell that they're all talking to him, and he's just standing there just kind of answering questions. As you get closer, you hear Stick Kid just go, "But are you good at fighting?" And he goes, "Yes." The kid's like, "Wow, what kind of stuff did you fight?" And he goes, "People." The kid's like bad people? And as you're kind of walking up, you see him like look at you. You can't quite tell if it's like the help me look or he's just like noticing that you're there.
Yeah.
He just goes, "Yes." Yeah! I bet you beat up a lot of bad people, huh? Yes, lots of people. You get there, and someone else is just like, "How did you get that big?" "I ate a lot and lived until now still." "Are you gonna get bigger?" "If I eat too much." Now you're starting to get the help me look.
I'll just kind of pop in and be like, "Yeah, he's quite remarkable. Speaking of, I need to borrow you for a minute, mate. Sorry, kids."
They're just like, "Okay, bye, Varbrong." And they start running around. They all say some different variation of Varbrong. Varbong, Varbig, Big Brong.
I like
Bo
Barbig though. I ain't gonna lie.
Barbig.
Like, dude, he's big, man.
The one that was like climbing up and like gets a hand on his shoulders, like, "Got it!" And then drops off and runs away. Runs after the other kids. Picks up a stick on the way. But they're not your responsibility, so you don't have to worry about what he's going to do with the stick. So,
Children grabbing cool sticks to whack each other with is a universal thing. No matter time, place, whatever, doesn't matter. That's shit kids do.
yep. But yeah, Varbrong he doesn't say thank you or anything. You just see like the visible relax. "Hello. It's good to see you again.
That's good to see you too. Although, I'd be
I
better
feel
if
like
you
I'm
were...
supposed to apologize
Where you going?
since we've already said goodbyes."
That's silly. Nah. So, speaking of goodbyes and not goodbyes, are you planning on staying here? I know Clint said that he was open to having you stick around and do stuff, or you gonna come back with us since your trip out west has been postponed for a bit?
If you need my help, I will go. If you do not, I will stay here. I have to get to my destination. If
Well-
it takes too long here, I will set out on my own.
Okay. Well, we're going to a farm out west a bit, where Sam's family, a part of it anyways, lives. And we're going to go check out one of those stone temples. We could obviously use the help, but also they could probably use some help throwing some things around at the farm if need be. If you want to tag along for that. If not, I'm sure Clint would be more than happy to help you here, because I know you got to go west eventually.
Yes. The farm is a little further west. Not much. No need to go to Stone Temple. Isn't that white bird order? They're keeping everything out, right?
Yeah. But we're just going to tactfully forget that's supposed to be how it is and get in on our own anyways.
I don't know if you realize, but Varbrong, he does motions to himself,
Yeah.
is easy to spot.
Indeed you are. I don't know if you've met Lamia, but she also sticks out like a sore thumb pretty much everywhere we go. So, if need be, distraction might be the name of the game. And my friend, whether you realize it or not, you're fantastic at that.
My kind of distraction can cause trouble. If it becomes a fight, the white bird is a part of the nation. We anger Setsegia.
I'm definitely not suggesting you fight. We're trying to avoid that at all costs. But
You want me to go and stand?
Sorry.
basically, I gesture broadly at where the kids went. Were you just standing here when they all showed up to ask you a whole bunch of questions?
He nods.
Yeah. People are, they find it difficult to get around the fact that you're around. So sometimes it just being in a place is worth it. I know chatting with a bunch of random folk is uncomfortable at the best of times, and is more uncomfortable when your presence may be alarming to them in some way, but it could be incredibly useful for us. However, this is up to you. I'm not going to say you need to come. I'm just saying that might be useful if you do.
Varbrong would like to be of use. Me, getting used to those, I am bored here. They are kind, which is different, and interesting. But I wish to move more.
Well then, I say come along with us. At worst, you might get conned into doing a bit of farm chores. At best, you'll at least get some excitement.
These are townspeople.
Yeah. Most of them.
Which part
Bit
of
short,
Sam?
I do believe you told us they are mostly Volu, right?
Yeah, the ones at the bird sag are mostly.
I was pretty sure the bird sags were mostly Volu. They're the the Volu kind. I like put my hand down about Volu height.
Sam would be offended if he was nearby. No,
Okay. Here they can cook well.
From what Sam says, his whole family's pretty good at it.
And we've had some Volu cooking from that one inn.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Says it will be a lot bigger than them. Could be of a lot of use.
Yeah.
But so is a ladder. I'm sure they've figured it out. But I will go.
All right. Sounds good. We'll probably be leaving tomorrow-ish or the next day. I'm not entirely sure. We still got to talk around if that works for you.
Varbrung, I am not doing anything except standing and speaking.
So exasperation on the speaking. Yeah. Okay. Well then, good. I'll make sure to tell Clint, and we'll get all our stuff prepped so we can go sooner rather than later.
Okay. Varbrung will.
He like shrugs.
Stand and be awake.
I kind of like do the thing where I kind of like tap him on the arm or whatever, and just be like, "Do you need anything though?" Well, I'm gonna head inside. I got some other people to chat to. I'll bring you out something.
No. The children will come back, I'm sure. May need water,
Sure.
but I can get that.
Well, I mean, if you say so. If you do need anything, just give me a holler. It's sorted.
Okay.
if Rabon gets thirsty,
Shout.
if Rabon gets thirsty, does he just like look up and open his mouth and just wait
Just,
and like wait for rain to fill his
fucking
yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Right.
As a last resort, right?
Just
But-
like what I imagine, like it's just passive water intake. But yes, sorry.
But since I will shout if I need you.
Sounds good. I'll probably hear it from a county away.
Okay. So yeah, Varbrung will go with you guys.
I had one more thing I want to do that we don't necessarily have to RP. I just wanted to go talk to Volga because I'm back, and obviously we didn't die. And I wanted to let her know that I found Kamal and that he almost died.
Okay. Yeah, when you tell her that you found Kamal, she says, I knew he was going all to west, and I thought he might have got into trouble, but I'm glad you saved him.
I mean, he definitely did get himself into trouble, but he was doing well up until we showed up, I think. I mean, trouble would have found him, I think, the way he was going eventually anyways, but...
I was hoping he would find honest work. Maybe he tried.
honest work's hard to come by sometimes.
Yes. Okay. I know you're going to leave soon. But I have to ask. Have you? She looks around. Someone's like. It seems like they hurry up to like finish what they're doing and then they get out of the way and leave. Have you heard anything about
Ingarga?
Yeah, I've heard some rumors that the old manor has kind of gotten out of control, and it's the magics that destroyed that place are starting to seep into the surrounding areas.
Do you think he's still there, around? Can he come after us?
From the way it was explained to me, he's not exactly alive, but he's not exactly dead. So I don't think he's going to come after us, but I plan on going after him and making him and finishing what I started. It'll take more than a whack to the head this time, I think, though.
You notice the kind of fear that she seemed to have talking about it. You see it sort of seem to suppress. She says, okay, if you need my help, you have it. This isn't just up to you. I think you've done enough, in fact.
I appreciate it. I just want to finish this. I don't want him to be able to control any of us anymore, or even by just the fear of reprisal, right? Because even with fear, someone can control you, even if they're 1,000 miles away. So I'm tired of that. I don't want to live under anyone's thumb anymore.
In many ways, he is. Still. I don't know. It's hard to feel like he's really gone. So, more closure is good.
Yeah, I agree. I
was thinking of maybe sending a letter to Kamal, but I feel maybe I should wait.
Well, good. Last I saw him, he was in Munhansai, so if you're going to send a letter, that's probably the place to send it, but he might be mobile again, who knows?
She nods. Well, I'll try to reach out to you if I find out where anyone else is.
Oh,
Maybe.
I appreciate it.
I'm
Be
still
good to see
kind of
anybody.
light.
Yeah, I understand. But you can always send stuff to my office in Psychon. Mayor is discreet, and he's good at keeping things on the down low when it needs to be. So
That's true, and you did go through all the trouble of painting a big target on your back, so it's probably good to at least get some use out of it.
yeah, I just kind of like shrug. What else is new, right?
Right. Okay. Well, good luck, and I know they're not going to listen, but try to stay safe.
You're right. I won't, but that's okay.
Should lean over and give you a hug.
Big hug time. All right. Well, I gotta go find the others. And
She holds on to it for maybe a little longer than you expected. You might realize that that's probably the first time that you've hugged since you guys parted ways.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
It's been a long time, mate.
Yeah.
I don't hug people
It's not like
very
you did
often.
that often before that
Yeah.
either. It was just
I was gonna say I don't hug people very often, so
yeah.
as opposed to real life, I'm a hugger.
Then she very quickly moves off to go do something else. And as you're about to head off to do another thing, the maid, his male maid, that like hurried away, whatever. He was like, "Oh shit, you guys try to talk." Kind of swoops back through and he's like, "Hey, you know she's single still. Like, if you were curious and you didn't want to ask,
I wasn't gonna,
just looking out."
but cheers, mate. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Just like walk off.
he like nods, like he's got that like smug look of like, "Yeah, I did something." When he goes back to doing his job. Okay, so that was that. Any other stuff you guys wanted to handle while you're still here? I know that look, Molly.
Yeah, Lamia did want to go to... I'm trying to find his name.
While you're doing that, if anybody's confused about what we're talking about with either the Bertzag farm or my thing, watch our original origin story intro episodes. There's one for each of us. They're all really good. You should watch them. Okay, they're on YouTube. Go ahead, Molly.
They're only an hour or two.
Yeah.
Lamia did want to go see if she could see Batu, because she just wants to find out if he's still on like his decisions and etc. versus, oh no, I went ahead and controlled him. That's why he's doing this.
Speaking of origin
watch the
episode things,
backstories.
Batu is also from the backstory on Lamia. See, we've been referencing all three of ours heavily tonight. So yeah, go do it.
So you head over to he's on the east side of town. Well, yeah, I guess Sam kind of has.
I ain't seen no druid man come out of no tree.
No, but we're talking about your family.
Yeah, the farm.
Actually, they weren't in. I had come from, but they weren't part of it. But yeah, that is explained. That's where I had just come from.
They were very briefly in, not really like.
Why am I in this country, basically?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And what you did there. But we decided not to run that scene. We ran a different thing. So, but yeah, so you head to the east side of town. I imagine you probably told people where you were headed. When you get there, they recognize you. They let you in, and you actually run into Han.
It's pronounced Han.
Shut up.
He tells you. He's like, Batu's actually not here at the moment. He's out of town making some deals and stuff. There's a few more people to hire for the long-term plans he has.
Yeah, that sounds wise.
Did you have any requests for him or anything like that? Or just wanted to talk?
So this may sound a little odd, but you're a good friend of Batu's as well, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm also on his payroll, but
there is a difference.
I do consider him a friend also. I mean, even if I did something else, I would check in on him. He's a good man.
Okay. If Batu ever comes back, well, of course he's gonna come back. I don't know why I said it like that.
He looks a little confused.
When Batu gets back, and if you happen to be here, if he's not really acting like himself, I guess keep an eye out to see if he does anything strange that he wouldn't normally kind of do. Any plans that are not part of his normal plans.
Sorry, while you're talking, you see like the look on his face, he kind of gets concerned and he sort of motions to you to like go into... It's the same room that you met Batu in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to speak in private. And if you step through with him, he'll kind of close the door, and he doesn't take a seat, he just kind of stands at the table and listens. Go ahead.
Oh, that's the end of the sentence, but...
Okay.
Okay. Keep an eye out for him if he does things that he wouldn't normally do, and etc.
He says, why would you suspect that? Did something happen? Or...
Yes. I don't want to... No, you know what? I'm just gonna come out and say it. Modric.
Hearth Modric.
Hearth Modric, yeah, sorry. Mm-hmm. Has the potential to manipulate people directly. And if Batu is just doing this because they are commanded him essentially to do it, then that's awful. But I don't want to get in the way of what could possibly make Setsegia safer, essentially. But if it's just part of the Hearth's plan, then it's probably not safe. Even though they say it is.
I see.
But that's only if Batu's not in his faculties and such like that.
Lamia, how do I explain this? I have 2 jobs. Okay, I have one, which is, as you've seen, as an attendant and assistant to Batu. I handle some of the books. I handle navigation, a few other things, but in general, if he has a request that he needs someone trusted to accomplish, I'm generally who he turns to. He's had other people in that position before. It's me now. And that is what he pays me to do. My other job, and how I was appointed to him in the first place, is as Hearth Modric's representative on this expedition.
Wait a minute, did we ever find that out?
I don't believe you did.
I just want to double check my notes because I had looked at the thing to find out who Han was. Okay, no, I don't think we did. All right, I feel a little better now because Lamia wouldn't have just said that if she knew.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he said that before, but okay. He says, "I understand your concerns. I can assure you, Visag Batu is under no magical compulsions or anything like that. Those types of magics aren't going to... Someone being under your control means that there is a certain amount of agency they lack. That agency is how they make their best decisions. His work is complex. It's, business deals and lots of other, small decisions that have a lot of branching occurrences attached to them. Assuming direct control, unless this is a person can jump into his body and literally puppet it and assume all of his knowledge and expertise at the same time. Outside of that, wouldn't even be an ideal way to utilize his talents. So no, that isn't happening to him. I'll keep an eye out in case it does. But I can nearly guarantee you that isn't happening to him. Ellie's freaking out.
I don't blame her, because, as soon as Lamia learned that, she gets stone cold.
Your shift in demeanor tells me a lot. You've expressed how you feel about Hearth Modric, but you also remember that they're paying Batu. Just working for them doesn't mean I know about all of the upper workings of their organization and that I'm tied into whatever their greater goal is.
Yeah, and that's probably why I'm a little more stiff now. But I promise you this. She has ways. I literally died fighting someone who she had essentially dominated.
Lamia,
Not better.
I know what Tressadorad is capable of.
But do you really?
Yes, I do really. I'm not under her control. At least, not magically. But whether it's coin or blackmail or other kinds of leverage, there are many different ways to assume control outside of a spell or an artifact. There are many paths to power that don't have somatic and verbal components. She understands them very, very well. And I am beginning to. You and I don't need to be enemies.
I can
hope
agree
you
with that.
understand Good. My mission is to make sure that Batu's journey, his goals, everything he's setting out to do are completed. And completed to the utmost levels of success. That is all I'm here for. And he would not be able to do that with somebody less skilled than him holding the reins.
Well, okay then. But I still ask to keep an eye out for that kind of thing. She may change her mind, depending on things that may happen.
If she just needed someone to move, she wouldn't have had to get one of the best merchants in the land. She could have gotten anyone, put them in his position. But I see what you're saying. I'll keep an eye. But understand, even if I see anything, I can't necessarily tell you that.
No, not necessarily. But you'll know if she decides to do something different. It's up to you to be the person who can choose what is right and what is wrong in that moment.
Right and wrong can be powerful motivators in the right circumstance, but there are stronger still.
Okay. Then I guess that is it today.
That is the okay of a person who completely disagrees with the statement you just made.
Says, I mean, Lamia. He just sighs. You actually see like the shoulders like sag. I hope you're able to find a different enemy. Leave this one alone.
Oh, no, I can't. She's already said we were enemies.
Right. Well.
But good luck.
I don't have to take your word for that. So we don't have to be.
Yeah, good luck. And I do sincerely hope that everything goes fine as originally planned.
Same for you.
That.
The teeth?
Yeah, I have teeth.
Right. Just be careful with those. Just looking at Ellie in chat.
Yeah, I don't blame her. Okay, well, I mean, we'll go back to the manor then. And that was the only other thing that I wanted done.
Well, you got a piece of information out of it.
Yeah.
Maybe not the piece you were expecting.
No.
There were some hints, but that's fine. Anyway, so you head back. You guys regroup at some point. I imagine Sam is chatting in the map room for quite a while, but eventually you guys regroup. Is it okay to just assume that you all share whatever you've learned?
Yeah.
I mean, within the limits of the things I normally talk to them about.
It was minted by giants, and it used to be part of their currency.
So I will take a rubbing in your big coin, or our big coin, because I want to ask people about the symbols.
He's rubbing it
on it.
It gets harder. No, I'm kidding.
Disturbing.
I mean, in
Suddenly
theory,
take hands off.
Yeah, I would definitely be like, no.
unless
Somebody
it had
else do that."
unless it had been heated again, it's probably hard from being struck because when you hit metal hammer, it
Compresses.
makes it harder. Yeah, it compresses.
Yes, it
Just
compresses
why
the
if
gold.
you, for example, if you take a paperclip, bend it, and bend it back, it's not going to bend at the same point because that part is now harder.
Yeah, it's compressed.
Or if you take a copper wire and
cool.
do this a bunch with it.
So you guys regroup. You share your details, except for the stuff about Eli's backstory that he hasn't talked to you guys about yet.
Yep.
And meet. I think that's as good a place to end. Well, maybe. Anything else you guys are doing that day? Or are
I'm
kind of ready to skip to the next day?
I'm buying another chicken so I can eat it tomorrow morning.
Okay, spend a gold.
You gotta get like beef jerky or something, like beef rations.
Or more chickens.
It can't be rations. I mean, I can eat the rations and it'll be fine, but I'll still be starving.
Yeah.
Other than buying a doomed chicken.
Doomed.
And the chicken doesn't know.
Nothing else. Oh, should we go buy potions?
That was a rendition.
We got money now.
Yeah.
We should probably buy potions.
Oh,
That's
chicken.
We
The
can
morning?
handle that offline. That doesn't take
Okay.
stuff. Yeah. So just, because we've already established you guys can find potions here.
How am I missing 5 gold?
Nothing
You're
else from
gambling,
Lamia.
Just like you were doing on the snails.
Okay.
What about you two?
What?
Anything else you want to do tonight?
Oh,
No,
no.
I achieved all of my business.
Take a bath.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. Before we go on the road, take a bath.
Bath time.
But I figure
Yeah.
anytime we're here, that's my go-to anyways, because they have
All
facilities.
the comforts.
Yeah, they have facilities and comforts, so I'm gonna take advantage of all of the niceties that this manor has to offer that have been, extended to us.
Okay. So, because I've been sitting here fishing for a good cliffhanger to end on, and I'd rather do this now than at the beginning of next session.
Oh, good, because next session isn't happening for 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm sitting in the bathtub and Miles walks in with nothing but a towel. And Ellie goes crazy.
Yeah, Ellie would lose her fucking mind.
I was gonna say, did Ellie take control of you? How many snails did it take for her to get you to say that? Anyways,
So you guys rest for the night, back in your respective rooms, and then I'm assuming Lamia leaves her respective room to go to the sitting room.
Yep.
It's Eli and Rahala are in the same room.
yeah.
So yeah, Eli,
Mhm.
you go to rest for the night.
Sorry.
Finally relax.
Yeah.
Finally get to sleep. I say finally. It's just I imagine in general it can be kind of difficult to sleep for you guys in a lot of nights.
Yeah.
But thankfully it's really comfortable bed, so it helps, and you're clean, which also helps. You're awakened by a sound you haven't heard in a long time. The sound of a cane, hard, boom, 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 rapping on the floor above your bed. And you hear the same stilted gait of footsteps of an old Tertian sorcerer on stairs. You hear probably something similar to what you're doing. You hear several people wake with a start just gasp. You sit up sharp. In the dark room, of course, you can still see. As you look around into the faces of Rosh with their long, dark hair and fair skin, you see Kamal throw the thin quilt off of his bed, getting to his feet. Still looks like how you last remember seeing him, not when he was injured, but you do see new scars. You see this. He's bulked out a little bit more. You can see the wild look in his eyes, and he's grasping for weapons or something that aren't there. You see Volga leap from her bed as well, and you see Halan, the Vishkanya, light green scales, literally fall tangled out of bed, panicking, kind of thrashing around as you all look at each other, realizing you are back in your master's manor. Until you blink, and you're standing up in the room of the Markham Manor again. Daylight streaming through the windows. The smells and sounds and everything seems to shift from one to the other gradually. Give me a will save really quick.
Alright. So hold on one second. Let me finish typing this real quick. Alright, now I can. That was almost a 1.
You can't quite tell if what you saw was an illusion or a hallucination or just a dream. You really aren't sure. But you do feel... It feels like there was a hand on your back that slowly pulls away. You can see Rahala in the bed across from yours, sitting up, kind of alarmed. And she just says, Eli, where did you go? Where were you?
Wait, you mean I wasn't... Oh, that's bad.
No. That's where we'll end it.
Nice.
Oh my god!
Yeah. Wait 2 weeks. Ha! Scrubs. No, anyway, I actually forgot this was the 3rd session.
Yeah, this is the 3rd session.
I didn't, thanks
feel
to
like
my helpful device in my notes where I put which session it is at the top of my notes.
It didn't feel like we've done 3 sessions, but yeah.
No,
We definitely have.
Thank you for joining us, everybody.
Looking at the
Yes.
numbers.
Thank
Thank you for joining.
And
And I
please
know
have...
we pitched it earlier, but check out the YouTube. There's cool stuff on there besides just replays of the videos. The everybody's background's cool. If you haven't watched it, you should. Plus, we also have the Goat Without Equal one shot, which was a lot of fun. And I was like, the coin has a ram's head on it. Are you sure it's not a goat? So I was gonna ask. Since we got it from brownies. You never know. But yeah, check that out. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I refuse to call it X. Those things. Come to our Discord. Share your thoughts. Look at our silly gifts that we post throughout the session.
And please have a wonderful Stuff Your Face Day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yes,
It's American
everyone
Thanksgiving on
have-
Thursday. Everybody have a good.
Yeah, happy holiday for all of our American folks. I don't know where all of our lurkers are from, so...
Yeah, that's fair.
If you don't have a holiday coming up, then hopefully you have a good weekend.
Losers! No,
Shut up.
If not, enjoy your American Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Whatever it is you
they're
happen to
probably
eat.
doing a lot better than we are. Some of them might even have healthcare.
Yeah.
Wild, right?